Good afternoon, or well, I guess evening now, as we're approaching 7 o'clock here on the East Coast to Joe Cannon Stadium. I'm Rob Stadnick alongside Connor Newcomb for today's baseball game between the Baltimore Dodgers and the Herndon Braves. The Dodgers coming in after a tough loss, a 6-1 loss on Monday before the festivities of 4th of July. Certainly no fireworks from the Baltimore Dodgers lineup.
Yeah, it was a rough one on Monday. The one run scored by the Dodgers, that came in the 6th inning. They got themselves some runners on base in that inning, but really never could come through. Had first and second with one out. Couldn't score any more than just the one on the RBI single from Shane Coker. And then in the 8th inning, they also had a couple runners on, but couldn't do anything. And again, Josh Hedgeka was great. Again, 8 innings, 2 runs, but just no Dodgers offense on Monday, and they lost the game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Hedgeka with another good outing, something we've become accustomed to seeing. I know you're not a big win-loss guy, and I certainly am not either. It just shows he's 3-2 on the season, has an ERA of 1.00 in 4 starts, and I believe 6 appearances total. So certainly his team not helping him out in a few instances there. They come in to face off against a Braves team who has lost 2 in a row, coming off an 11-1 loss on Monday to the SS Tacoma T-Bolts. Braves currently holding that number 1 position, wild card position in the playoff race. Dodgers currently 2 games behind them.
Yeah, they were just pounded by SS Tacoma, and that's, the Dodgers are, you're looking at the Grays, seeing what they're going to do. You're a half game behind them, but you kind of have to watch out for the T-Bolts as well. The T-Bolts have the same record as the Dodgers right now at 10-16, so Tacoma's doing the same thing. They're also just a half game out of that wild card spot, and they obviously got a big win, 11-1 over this team on Monday. So both of these teams coming off of losses that they're not going to be too proud of. It's a 2-game losing streak right now for the Braves. Just that one loss for the Dodgers after the swept doubleheader over Rockville on Saturday. But this is important for both teams, as both teams are right in the thick of the wild card race here in the Cal Ripken League.
Yeah, and the games the Braves have been involved in, especially recently, but throughout the entire season, they've put up a lot of runs and they've given up a lot of runs. Second best team in the league as far as batting average, and they have a team ERA above 5 at 5.23. So they give up a lot of runs, they score a lot of runs, and today's pitching matchup is kind of conducive to that sort of ball game.
Yeah, you got Connor Grove going for the Dodgers, and you've probably heard that name a lot, but Connor Grove out at first base. He basically spent most of the beginning of the season as the everyday first baseman. Then Shane Coker came in, joined the team kind of almost halfway through the year, who was a 2016 Dodger as well. But Coker came in, kind of took over that starting first baseman role, and then it was Grove who ended up getting himself into the bullpen, was a 2-way player for Judson this season. And he went to the bullpen. He's made 4 appearances out of the pen. His last one coming Saturday, he came in the 7th inning of Game 1 of that doubleheader after Casey Gast allowed the first 2 runners to reach base. Connor Grove allowed them to score, but the Express needed 3 runs, and Grove only let 2 come in, both earned to Gast, and he got the save. So after a couple rough outings to start his season in the pen, he kind of has pulled it together, and that's kind of earned him his first start of the year today.
And Jonathan Mahoney on the other side not faring much better. He's making his 3rd start and just his 3rd appearance in 5 innings pitched. He's allowed 6 earned runs. That's good for an ERA of 10.8. So a struggling Dodgers offense currently can maybe jump all over this pitching staff for the Herndon Braves, who have been struggling throughout the year. 9 games, as we mentioned, their offense and their defense, 9 of their games this season have had at least one of the 2 teams involved scoring 10 or more runs.
Yeah, it's been a lot of offense, and if you're maybe not the biggest baseball fan, you're just looking for runs, I would come to this game. I mean, the Dodgers, obviously the offense been a little shaky, but this Herndon pitching staff has been very up and down, and when they're down, they're way down. They're giving up double-digit runs against opposing teams. So the Dodgers need to look to jump on that, because despite Connor Grove having a nice outing on Saturday, closing out the game, this is his first start of the season. There can be some jitters there, and we've seen him struggle with command earlier in the year. So Dodgers could be in a situation where they get down early. They're going to need the offense to pick them up.
And if you're worried or wondering what's up with the start time, we're actually waiting for umpires to get here to Joe Cannon Stadium. So while we do that, we're going to go ahead and introduce the visiting Herndon Braves. We'll turn it over to PA announcer Billy Goheen for the lineup.
And now, introducing the starting lineup for the visiting Herndon Braves, managed by Aaron Tarr, assisted by Rob Riley. Batting first, third baseman from South Florida State, number 10, Brett Norwood. Batting second, shortstop from Lock Haven University, number 4, Caden Stover. Batting third, the designated hitter from Western Kentucky University, number 11, Richard Constantine. Batting fourth, the catcher from Delaware State University, number 23, Kieran Devney. Batting fifth, first baseman from Georgetown University, number 19, Alex Bernauer. Batting sixth, center fielder from Grambling State University, number 34, Nick Wheeler. Batting seventh, right fielder from Towson University, number 44, Bo Plaguey. Batting eighth, left fielder from St. Joseph's University, number 13, Tim Johnson. And batting ninth, second baseman from Trevecca University, number 2, Chandler Miller. The starting pitcher for the Herndon Braves from Prince George's Community College, number 33, John Mahoney.
And the umpires making their entrance from the first base side, just over by the Braves dugout, and we're getting ready to play ball. We still got to exchange lineups, but the Baltimore Dodgers lineup is going to be introduced here momentarily. Let's talk a little bit about, there's going to be a showcase that takes place. We talked a little bit about it on Monday. A showcase that takes place down in North Carolina. The Cal Ripken League has been invited to take place in this collegiate summer baseball showcase. And it's going to take away a few players from the Baltimore Dodgers lineup, namely Josh Hedgeka and Joey Ortiz.
Yeah, Hedgeka's, well, he's earned it this season. I mean, they're kind of putting together sort of a Cal Ripken League all-star team. However, the all-star game for this league is on Monday in Bethesda. We still don't know who's been named to that team, but we do know who is going to go down to this showcase. It's going to be Hedgeka and Ortiz, and Hedgeka's obviously earned it. I mean, even his last start, 8 innings, 2 runs on Monday. I mean, that start raised his ERA, almost doubled it. 8 runs, 2 innings, almost doubled his ERA is how well he's been pitching this year. It went from 0.6 to 4 to an even 1.00 for Josh Hedgeka, and I'm sure in his next appearance he'll probably drop it back down below 1. But he's really earned it, been the ace for the Dodgers, and, you know, he has probably earned the shot to start the All-Star game for the North Division. I mean, I'm sure Derek Brown would only want him pitching 1 inning or maybe less because they need him more than anybody on this team if they want to make it to the playoffs. But then also Joey Ortiz, who, again, playing second base and hitting leadoff today for the Dodgers. I mean, his average on the season has been hovering around 300. He was at 299 coming into Monday's game. And he's just been a solid piece at the top of the lineup and has been a great defender.
Yeah, picked up a pair of hits in that game on Monday, as you mentioned. He was just under that 300. He should be up over it now. The game hasn't been finalized. That's why the stats aren't necessarily up to date. So should be up over 300. One of 2 Dodgers players to be up over 200. The other player, or excuse me, 300. The other player you mentioned earlier, Shane Coker, has been a huge addition to this team. Currently hitting out of that 4 spot in the lineup. Again, you don't have the lineup. You haven't heard the lineups yet, but just a little sneak peek. Shane Coker's hitting 4th and playing first base. He's hitting .324, again, coming into Monday. He did pick up a hit and an RBI in that game. Currently sitting with a 10-game hitting streak, trying to match the number that Austin James put up earlier this season. Austin James, on the other hand, has been scuffling a little bit in the last few games. He had 5 consecutive games with an RBI. and hasn't had an RBI in his last 5. So he's somebody that's going to be looking to kind of pick things back up.
Yeah, Austin James was big early in the season, had some clutch hits, big home run here at Joe Cannon Stadium earlier in the year, and was really looked at as kind of that number 2 guy behind Joey Ortiz, who they could rely on for hit after hit. But as you said, James has been scuffling a little bit, and his State College of Florida teammate Jaron Shelby's really been scuffling most of the season. I mean, he had a nice little start to his season the first couple games, but since then just hasn't been able to figure it out at the plate. Has Shelby. He's hitting under 150 on the year as Jaron Shelby, and we thought maybe on Saturday he got probably his biggest hit of the season. In the bottom of the 7th inning of the Game 2 of that doubleheader, Dodgers were trailing 2-1, and Josh Shelby stepped in and took the first pitch over the right center field wall to tie the game. We thought it might give him a little bit of a kick, but you can still see it's only been one game since that happened, so maybe that helps Shelby get some confidence and turn it around. But he just hasn't had the season at the plate he's wanted. But he finds himself in the lineup every day because he's the best center fielder defensively on this team and one of the best center fielders in the Cal Ripken League.
Yeah, we've seen him make quite a few great plays out there. Can cover a lot of ground, and you certainly need that here at Joe Cannon Stadium. He also had a doubleheader, or a double in that doubleheader, and he actually hit a few balls pretty hard here on Monday. So maybe it's just a matter of finding them to get them to start dropping and get that confidence going. So umpires are here. We're ready to introduce the starting lineups.
And now,
Billy Goheen.
the starting lineup for your Baltimore Dodgers. Manager of the Baltimore Dodgers, number 4, Derek Brown. Assistant coach of the Baltimore Dodgers, number 5, Juan Waters. And pitching coach of the Baltimore Dodgers, number 52, Ed Chestnut. Batting first, second baseman from New Mexico State University, number 1, Joey Ortiz. Batting second, right fielder from New Mexico State University, number 13, David Bellamy. Batting third, the designated hitter from the University of California, Berkeley, number 2, Brandon McElwain. Batting fourth, first baseman from Creighton University, number 24, Shane Coker. Batting fifth, the shortstop from the State College of Florida, number 12, Austin James. Batting sixth, center fielder from the State College of Florida, number 30, Jaron Shelby. Batting seventh, third baseman from Wake Forest University, number 19, Zach Seal. Batting eighth, the catcher from Eastern Michigan University, number 9, Alex Walansky. And batting ninth, left fielder from LaSalle University, number 15, Brian Tago. And on the mound today for your Baltimore Dodgers from Judson University, number 22, Connor Grove. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please join our players and coaches in honoring America and celebrating our freedom and those that protect it, both here and away. Please stand, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so
Connor Grove taking the baseball, taking the hill, giving a pat to his catcher, Alex Wilansky, and set to throw his warm-ups as we're just about ready for baseball. The Baltimore Dodgers and the Herndon Braves both fighting to, well, the Braves, in the case of the Braves, stay in a playoff position. The Baltimore Dodgers fighting to get into that playoff position right behind the D.C. Grays. They're a half game. As you mentioned, Connor, the SS Tacoma T-Bolts are also tied with the Dodgers. And it's another team that they're going to have to contend with. Hopefully some of the other teams can take care of business against the T-Bolts. Right now in the Cal Ripken League, it's so top-heavy. Essentially, you've got three teams that you're rooting for every single night. That's the Redbirds, the Big Train, and the Aces. Unless you're playing them, you want them to win because it's helping you out.
Yeah, they're the big teams at the top, obviously. The Aces right now playing great baseball. I mean, everybody was expecting the Big Train and the Redbirds to kind of dominate as they usually do in this league, but it's the Alexandria Aces at 20-4 who sit in first place in the Cal Ripken League, but right behind them are the Big Train at 21-6. Then you got the Redbirds leading the North Division at 15-11. So, you know, they're kind of coming into the season. They probably had the three best rosters put together, and they have the three best records. But as you said, other than that, everybody else is below 500 except for the Gaithersburg Giants, who sit at 15-12. They're kind of put it together lately, and they've rattled off 4 wins in a row, I believe, to get themselves above 500. But other than that, everybody's kind of jumbled together in that wild card spot. So, you know, unless you're the Dodgers and you're playing, you know, the Big Train, Redbirds, and Aces, which come up back-to-back for them this week, you're cheering for those big boys to just get it done so you can slip in there to a wild card spot.
Well, as a matter of fact, 2 of them are playing tonight, the Big Train and the Redbirds, so that's not even going to help today. Of course, in second place in the North Division, the Giants are hoping for a Big Train win there, as they're only a game behind the Redbirds. Redbirds not having the same season that we typically see from them. Earlier today, the Aces fell to the last place team in the Cal Ripken League, the Loudon River Dogs, by a score of 5-3 in a doubleheader. So that's where their 4th loss came in. They were 20-3 when we were talking earlier before the game, but that game has gone final. As now the leadoff man, Brett Norwood, coming to the plate. We talked about the Southern College Baseball Showcase. Brett Norwood, the lone representative from the Herndon Braves. He's going to get things leaded off against Connor Grove. Over at third base is Zach Seal. He's playing in, protecting against the bunt as the first delivery is up and away to Brett Norwood. Norwood, a left-handed hitter. Wears number 10 and waits the 1-0 from Connor Grove. And that's a fastball that missed the outside corner, so looks like we're going to get a pretty true plate here tonight based on that delivery. Something we didn't see on Monday, as the strike zone was quite wide in that game. The 2-0 fastball. It's going to miss a little bit low. 3 balls and no strikes to Connor Grove, or to Brett Norwood. Connor Grove having a bit of trouble with his command here early on, and that's something we've seen from him this season in his outings. A 3-ball, no strike delivery on the way. Norwood taking all the way and taking right down the middle. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Connor Grove gets himself back into the count here. 5 walks and 7 1/3 innings pitched for Grove. 3 balls, 1 strike count. That's a fastball. That's in there at the knees on the inside corner. Norwood thought it was ball 4, and he took off down towards first, but he's called back, and that count will run full. And Grove ready for Norwood to get back in the box, already with the hands at the face, ready to wind and deliver. And here he comes. And that fastball, after getting back in the count, missing well wide, and a 3-2 pitch out of the zone, results in a leadoff walk for Brett Norwood. And that'll bring Caden Stover to the plate. Defense for the Dodgers, you heard Zach Seal at third base. Let's talk about Alex Wilansky, the battery mate for Connor Grove. Out at short is Austin James. Joey Ortiz, surprise, surprise, at second base. And over at first is Shane Coker. Out in left, Brian Tego getting the start. In center, Jaron Shelby. And in right, David Bellamy. Runner off with a pitch. Ball in the dirt. Throw down to second base is in time to get the out. Don't run on these Dodgers catchers. When will you learn, everybody else? Anybody listening, stop running on the Dodgers catchers.
I am going to really question that decision, to send the runner there. I mean, obviously Connor Grove did, it wasn't a 4-pitch walk, but a leadoff walk, especially that 3-2 pitch wasn't competitive at all, nowhere near the zone. You got to wait for this guy to prove he can get outs before you're just going to run into him, especially with a guy like Wolanski as he catches a strike there, who's thrown out plenty of runners this season.
Absolutely. We saw a game he threw out 4 runners in the same game. We also had a pickoff in that game. The first delivery was also a strike, so no balls and 2 strikes to count to Stover. And he fouls this one off at the plate. And the count will remain no balls and 2 strikes. I think it maybe caught Wolanski. He's going to walk the baseball out to Connor Grove, maybe walk off a little pain in the foot. And he's looking over to the Dodger dugout right now. I don't know if he's asking for the trainer or Ed Chestnut was going to come out, but now they send the ball boy out with a scraper. So I guess maybe a little bit of mud on the shoes of Connor Grove. And we'll find out what he does. He's taking it up to the mound right now. Maybe he's going to scrape the mound. I'm not sure. Now it's going to scrape the dirt from his shoes. So not getting good footing out there. So maybe that's why the 3-2 pitch wasn't very competitive, as you said. So he'll get some better footing here and try and get Caden Stover, the shortstop, for the Braves. Excuse me. Wow. There's the Grays on the mind as we're trying to catch them in the playoff race. Stover is going to be a junior at Lock Haven next year, and he loops one out into right center field, and that's down for a base hit. Didn't look like Grove gave it his all on that. He didn't seem to really bring that pitch in there. It was an off-speed pitch, but the arm speed was a little bit off.
Yeah, you're hoping he's still not struggling with the footing out there on the mound because, I mean, obviously an injury would be the worst thing to happen out there, but the next thing you look for if a guy's maybe not bringing it all and the mechanics don't look great is he's not landing correctly out there on the mound, and probably had something to do with why he tried to get the dirt out of his shoes, but hopefully he can correct it here.
Now, there was a tarp on the mound area until just prior to game time as the first delivery to Richard Constantine misses down low. So maybe some moisture not being able to be evaporated. I mean, obviously it's doesn't have anywhere to go. So the mound probably still a little wet. We did have some rain over the 4th of July, and the tarp remained on until I'd say just after the IO. The infield-outfield practice, the throw over to check on Stover. He's back safely. The 1-0. And that's going to miss, I guess, a little bit low. Wolanski delaying his throw back to his pitcher, Grove, in a bit of protest of that call. Grove down in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Middle infield for the Dodgers at double play depth, as they would be. The runner at first base and less than 2 away, and a fastball missing up and in. So 3 balls and no strikes to Constantine.
And I can't tell you specifically where the rain would be going, but I do know right now at Nats Park in D.C., absolutely pouring. So no word on whether that's coming north and heading towards Hanover, Maryland, but kind of in the area, there could be weather.
3 ball, no strike pitch, swung on and fouled back to the backstop. 3 balls and 1 strike now. We've seen Grove work out of that 3-0 count a couple of times. We mentioned about the rain. Now Grove trying to pound down some loose mud or dirt on the mound. You mentioned about the rain. Sky looks nice right here. It did look like it might have rained earlier. I actually did check the forecast. The foul ball here brings the count back to 3 balls and 2 strikes. I checked the forecast when I was back at home cutting the grass because the clouds looked a little bit like it might rain. Didn't see a whole lot in the forecast, but that changes pretty much every hour, so you never know. And hopefully we can get this game in before anything comes up from Washington. Stover gets his lead, and the throw over to check on him, and it's a close play over there. Safe is Stover. Constantine is finishing up his freshman season at Western Kentucky, a Huntsville, Alabama native. 3-2 pitch hit on the ground to Seal. He knocks it down. He'll throw to first, and it's in the dirt, and it gets away from Coker. heading over to third, and now rounding third and coming home is Stover. The throw to the plate is in time. He tries to go over Wilansky, and Wilansky just plants him on his back as he flips over Wilansky. It's a bit ambitious there for Stover to try and score all the way from first. It was a ground ball to third that Seal knocked down. When Seal made the throw to first, Stover continued to third because Seal was away from the bag and nobody was close. And then when the throw got away, they tried to score Stover, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, that's the second weird base running decision made by the Braves in this game, the first being trying to steal second. But, I mean, you got to be pretty content with that error where you thought you were going to have a runner on second with 2 outs, and then you're going to get second and third with 1 out. I mean, when Wilansky caught the ball at home plate, Stover was maybe 2/3 of the way down the third baseline, maybe. And that's being generous. I mean, that wasn't even close.
And Stover recorded or put out on the 5-3-2, the very rare 5-3-2 put out in the first delivery to Kieran Devney, who's been a Dodger killer this year. Pair of home runs, 1 in each game that they've played against the Dodgers. The 1-0. That one's going to miss down and away. 2 balls and no strikes to count on the catcher from New Jersey. Last time these two teams played, he was the hero. A pinch hit walk-off home run with 2 outs and an 0-2 count in the bottom of the 9th inning. He takes the 2-0 pitch down below the knees, 3 balls and no strikes. So there's again where we've seen in the past the Dodgers having trouble closing out games. Granted, it was a tie game, but you got 2 outs, 0-2 count on the hitter, and you surrender the home run. Now ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes, and he's going to hit one high in the air and out of play over behind the Dodger bullpen and out into the parking lot. And Connor Grove's shown pretty good ability to get back into counts here in the early going. A couple of 3-0 counts that he's been able to recover from and get back full. Right now, 3-1 on the Braves catcher. Runner at second base is Constantine. He reached on the error by Seal. And a fastball is going to miss up and away. That's the second walk surrendered by Grove. And you can tell he's having an issue kind of finding that pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit with command, as you talked about coming into this game. It was 5 walks in 7 1/3. Well, now he's issued 7 walks in 8 innings to this point this season, so a little bit of command issues, but he's gotten pretty lucky to still have no runs on the board so far. See if he can get another out and work his way out of this first.
As former Dodger Alex Bernauer will stand in and take one outside for a ball. Yeah, the caught stealing of Brett Norwood by Alex Wilansky and the 5-3-2 put out on the throwing error by Zach Seal, recording the 2 outs. So, as you said, pretty lucky. And he might get one here as he pops one into foul territory. Wilansky coming back, and that's going to land out of play, and even the count at a ball and a strike. Bernauer, as I mentioned, played for the Dodgers last summer. Appeared in 35 games, mostly at first base, had a 207 average. Big strikeout guy, 28 strikeouts in his 121 at-bats. 1-1. That'll miss up. In fact, I was going to say in his 2 games against the Dodgers, he actually only played... No, that's right. In his 2 games against the Dodgers, he struck out 5 times. I was looking at the wrong set of notes there as the 2-1 pitch is fouled back. So certainly a strikeout candidate here for Connor Grove. Don't need that, as there's 2 away here. But any outs are helpful in this situation. Runners at first and second and 2 away. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Bernauer down on strikes, his 6th strikeout. First strikeout of the game for Connor Grove. And we're going to head to the bottom half of the first inning. The Dodgers get in trouble, but they get out of it. It's scoreless. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Welcome back to Joe Cannon Stadium. I'm Rob Stadnick. Alongside me is Connor Newcomb. We're here for the bottom half of the first inning and the Dodgers' first chance at Jonathan Mahoney as Joey Ortiz will come to the plate. And, well, he'll wait a minute as Mahoney needs to clean some mud off of his cleats. So wet mound out there. Like I said, they left the tarp portion, the only portion. I think they have the home plate also. They have a tarp for home plate. They don't cover this field with a tarp generally. So just the home plate and the pitcher's mound. But the pitcher's mound area was covered up until shortly before game time as Joey Ortiz takes fastball down below the knees. And he's ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Mahoney starting his third game for the Braves. Delivers, and that's a fastball that catches the knees. And the count even at a ball and a strike. In his 2 previous starts, just 5 innings pitched total for Mahoney. As a line drive out in the center, coming on and making a nice diving catch as Wheeler out there in center field, taking a hit away from Joey Ortiz, who got a really good piece of that. And the Dodgers have 1 down here in the bottom half of the first.
Yeah, Joey Ortiz hitting right around 300 this season, and it kind of almost seems like the times he's not getting hits, that's what happens. He's hitting the ball right at fielders, diving plays, line drive outs. He's, I'd say, at least more than 50% of his at-bats have been great ones this season, but like 30% hits.
As now David Bellamy will stand in and take one up and away. As you said, Joey Ortiz definitely seeing the ball really well this summer, and it's showing in the batting average. And the delivery to Bellamy again missing. 2 balls and no strikes to count to the Dodger right fielder. Bellamy, the teammate of Joey Ortiz at New Mexico State. He's been playing sparingly, about half the games, with Brandon McElwain manning the right field side and Jaron Shelby getting most of the starts in center. It's pretty much been platoon duty out and left for Bellamy as he takes a fastball. It's going to miss up. 3 balls and no strikes to David Bellamy.
Yeah, these Aggies have hit back-to-back a couple times before this season, but most often it happens when Bellamy's hitting 9th in the order and then Joey Ortiz comes up at the leadoff spot.
3 ball, no strike pitch. And that one's right down the middle, and Bellamy takes for strike 1.
And it's kind of been a revolving door for the Dodgers in that 2-hole. You've seen Austin James there, Nick Ortega, David Bellamy. I mean, a lot of guys have gotten their shots. They're trying to figure out who they can really keep in that number 2 position.
3-1. That's going to miss outside, and Bellamy's going to draw the walk. Just the 6th time this season that he's been able to draw a walk, and he's got 64 plate appearances. Or, excuse me, 64 at-bats. Roughly 70 plate appearances. As the aforementioned Brandon McElwain will come to the plate to hit. McElwain has been dealing with a bit of a bad hamstring. As the runner goes, the throw down to second base, not in time, able to get underneath of it is Bellamy. The throw was a little bit high and wide from Devney, and Bellamy getting into second base on the stolen base. That's the 7th steal without being caught for David Bellamy. The delivery was a ball to McElwain, who now has a runner in scoring position. He's going to loop one out into right. Plaguey is there. He makes the catch, tagging and, well, bluffing the try to third base is Bellamy. He's going to stay right where he's at, and a fly ball to right retires McElwain. That'll bring up Shane Coker.
Yeah, I'd say probably a good decision for Bellamy to stay at second base, although both these teams have been pretty aggressive on the base path so far, maybe a little too aggressive, at least in the case of the Braves, but a pretty perfect throw there from Plaguey. He hit his cutoff man. Cutoff man had to leap and catch it, but if that goes through, that's probably one hop right to third base.
As Coker standing in and awaits the first delivery, that finds the strike zone. Coker down in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Coker riding a 10-game hitting streak. Had a single and an RBI in the game on Monday night to extend that streak to 10. That's the 2nd Dodger this season with a double-digit hit streak. As he awaits the 0-1. And that's a fastball. It's going to miss outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. We saw in the doubleheader the Alexandria Aces actually playing an exaggerated shift on Shane Coker, which we found to be pretty hilarious. The fact that they don't have any sort of scouting report on him. And he dropped a bunt in his first plate appearance and got a single. It was a well-placed bunt down the third baseline. So he takes the 1-1 that'll miss up. And Coker joining this team about a quarter of the way through the season, currently leading the team in average. But he doesn't qualify to be among the leaders. He's going to get another hit right here as that ball is into center field for a base hit. Bellamy coming around third. Here comes the throw home. It was first cut off by Bernauer, and it was going to be wide if he didn't cut it off. But once he did, there was no chance they were going to get Bellamy, and Coker drives in his 5th run of the season, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that 10-game hitting streak becomes 11 games already in the first inning for Shane Coker. Nice piece of hitting, got a pitch on the outside part of the plate, just took it right back where it came from, and good speed on second from Bellamy. I mean, a little bit of a close play. Solid arm out there in center from Wheeler, but he had to get the cutoff man, and that time it took to cut and throw the ball to the plate. Let Bellamy get in, and the Dodgers doing something they haven't done too much lately, which is score first.
And that'll bring Austin James to the plate. And he'll take the first delivery. That'll catch the outside corner. And I don't think he was thrilled with the call, but looked like a pretty good pitch here. It's all a matter of high and low from our perspective. Definitely got the plate. Runner first base, Shane Coker. He delivers the first run of the ball game. The Dodgers with a 1-0 lead. And another delivery finding the outside corner. And Austin James down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Couple of tough pitches to start off this at bat for Coker, for James. As Mahoney will come set, check on the runner, and come home. And a foul ball back to the screen by James will keep the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Mahoney, very deliberate when he gets into the stretch. We saw Bellamy already take a base here against the Braves, and that actually leads to a run for the Dodgers. But Shane Coker, I can tell you, probably not going anywhere. Most of his steals are going to be on the back end of double steals. So Mahoney waits and comes home. A little reaching roller towards third. Tough short hop by Norwood. He throws the first, and it is a step in time to get James. And that'll do it for the Dodgers. But they're able to score 1. The walk to Bellamy, a stolen base, and a single by Coker drives in 1. The Dodgers lead this one 1-0 as we head to the second. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Welcome back to Joe Cannon Stadium. I'm Rob Stadnick alongside Connor Newcomb, bringing you Baltimore Dodgers baseball. They lead this one by a score of 1-0 over the Herndon Braves, a team that they have not beaten yet this season. 0-2 against the Braves. First loss coming here at Joe Cannon Stadium on June the 14th. As we're going to get underway here with a fastball that's going to miss up high to Nick Wheeler, the center fielder for the Braves. Lost that game by a score of 6-5. That was a game that was kind of frustrating, as now a fastball is going to get Wheeler, and Wheeler is going to reach on the hit by pitch. I was saying that game was a little frustrating because the Braves took a 2-run lead on a home run by Devney. Dodgers came back in the bottom half of that inning. A home run by Berg. Got them within one. And then they couldn't hold that one-run deficit where the Braves then made it two again. And then finally the Dodgers do score one in the ninth, but they're not able to get all the way back because they couldn't hold the other team after they responded. And we've seen that so many times this year. The other loss came in that walk-off we mentioned earlier, the pinch hit home run by Devney as a fastball in the dirt, and Wheeler took a few steps towards second, but a great block there by Wolanski, and keeps him over at first base. I actually thought he was going to try and throw down to first because he might have been able to get him, as he was well off the bag over at first when he saw that ball hit the dirt. Now Grove is going to take a minute to himself, walk around behind the pitching rubber, and compose himself. And a fastball in the 0-1 is going to miss up and away to Bo Pleggy now at the plate, the right fielder for the Herndon Braves.
Yeah, back-to-back innings. Connor Groves just allowed the leadoff guy to get on base without much work. A leadoff walk in the first and hit by pitch to start the second.
And the 2-0 delivery will be fouled out of play. Yes, very, very difficult start. It's hard when you're putting yourself in that position. You know, it's one thing if you're making the other team earn it, but when the other team is just being given free passes, it's just it makes it difficult on yourself, especially when it starts to get in your head. Throw over to check on Wheeler, and he's back safely. Wheeler on the season, just 4 steals. He's been caught 5 times. So less than 50% success rate with a good throwing catcher behind the plate. Probably a bad idea to send him, especially with the struggles that we've seen from Connor Grove. You mentioned running in the first inning, probably a poor decision. It would probably be even worse here as the 2-1 is chopped foul, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Grove doesn't have to throw a strike here, but you got to be competitive with this pitch. Don't want to go full count.
3-2 is a breaking ball that's going to miss up high. Not a whole lot of break to that. And that'll run the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
With Herndon being so aggressive, I would guess they're probably going to send Wheeler on this 3-2 pitch.
Prime time for a strike him out, throw him out. Runner not going. Fly ball deep out in the left. Tego going back. He leaps. He can't make it. It's going to one-hop off the fence. Wheeler coming into third. He's going to be held up right there as the ball is getting into Austin James. And a no-out double for Bo Pleggy. And the Dodgers are in trouble in their second consecutive inning. They've got runners at second and third and nobody out. And Connor Grove is going to have to do some real magic to try and get himself out of this one.
Yeah, they did. Didn't send the runner. If they did, the run probably comes in to score for the Braves. But I think a little bit of hesitation over there at third base, keeping him at third after what happened the last time the Braves tried to send a runner home back in the first inning. He was out by a mile, and if it's a good relay to James and then to home plate to Wolanski, probably another out at the plate. So with nobody out, the Braves are just going to trust in the bottom of this order to get these 2 runs in.
And that bottom of the order starts with Tim Johnson, the left fielder. Johnson from St. Joseph's University awaits the first delivery from Grove. And he chops it foul over towards the third base side dugout. I was going to say the coach's box, but Aaron Tarr, the acting manager for the Braves, he actually was going to try and field that as that ball ended up going all the way over by the fence. The 0-1 hit high into the air out in the center. That should score the run from third. Shelby getting under it. He's going to throw it into the middle of the diamond to Shane Coker. He's going to cut it off, and the Braves are going to tie it up on the sacrifice fly to center field by Tim Johnson.
Yeah, Tim Johnson, 8-hitter, does his job there, gets a hanging breaking ball, takes it into center. Doesn't get himself the hit. It's kind of a can of corn for Shelby, but it was hit deep enough in this ballpark and good speed at third base from Nick Wheeler. He scores easily. Shelby makes the right play. He throws to the cutoff man.
I think they actually just called the runner out at third base. That run is going to come off the board. He left early. Well, we're going to have to check that out. There was a conversation between the coach over at third, Aaron Tarr, and the home plate umpire, and Aaron Tarr was not happy. The Dodgers threw the ball over to the third, and I think they called him out. We're going to have to find out. They haven't taken it off the board, but Aaron Tarr was not happy at the third base umpire, and I'm going to have to credit public address announcer Billy Goheen. I was marking it down in my book, and he brought it to our attention. Delivery to the 9-hole hitter Chandler Miller in their first strike. Fouled off the first delivery. No balls and 2 strikes. So the Dodgers could potentially get out of this. We'll see what happens if they can record an out here. If the Dodgers run off the field, it's a ball in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on the 9th-place hitter for the Braves. So that would be an interesting turn of events if that's what ends up happening.
Be another example of poor base running today in just 2 innings by the Herndon Braves.
And we just got from our little walkie-talkie up here, there are 2 outs. And the run comes off the board. So he is out at third base, left early. Little looper out behind the mound. James up with it. Throw to first. Good scoop by Coker. And that's going to do it for the Braves. So the Dodgers catch a break when Wheeler on a very easy sacrifice fly. There's no reason that should even have been close. He leaves early, and the Dodgers record the out, and they get out of the inning without allowing a run. They're coming to bat in the bottom of the second. They lead 1-0. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. And we're back here at Joe Cannon Stadium having issues with the scoreboard as they put the run up on the board, and they had to cycle all the way through to get the run off the board. I know there's got to be a way to take it off as Jaron Shelby standing in. So the Braves just screwing everybody up, including themselves, because they can't tag at third properly. And the score is 1-0 Dodgers, so the Dodgers will certainly take it as Shelby taking one outside for a ball. And the 1-0 in there for a strike. You mentioned before the game, Connor, that Shelby struggling. He was somebody that came in that I was really looking forward to seeing. He was the #1 player coming out of Florida in his draft or in his high school class. The foul ball back here towards the booth. He's down the count of ball and 2 strikes, but he's struggling, but he's been hitting the ball hard.
Yeah, he's just not getting the results, and I mean he's had some good at bats where he's hit the ball hard, but he's still struggling a lot. I mean, the batting average right around 140 is just not where you want it to be. 26 strikeouts. He's drawn just 9 walks as well. So it's just been a real struggle for Shelby.
And he waits the 1-2. He swings and misses, and the struggles continue as he's down on strikes for the first out here in the bottom of the second inning.
I don't know if he's just not seeing the ball well or maybe not able to pick up some breaking balls, but Darren Shelby continues to sit in that 6 hole. Now, I'm all for him still being in the lineup because he brings a lot out in center field, but maybe Eric Brown thinks about pushing him down towards the 8 or 9 spot in this Dodger lineup if he continues these struggles.
Yeah, just something to kind of shake him up, possibly. Zach Seal stands in. Sometimes just that, moving him down to a less pressure situation, just letting him relax can kind of turn things around. Zach Seal will await the 0-1. Little chopper off his foot out in front of home plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Seal. Talked to him before the game. Joey White, our very own Joey White, interviewed him. He's hoping to be the starting first baseman next year for Wake Forest. Get a little bit more playing time than he had this year, obviously, if you're the starting first baseman. Team that went to the Super Regionals this past spring and into summer, as he arrived late because he was still participating in that. Breaking ball on the outside corner, Seal down on strikes. Second consecutive strike. Seal questioning the home plate umpire. He's down on strikes for now 2 away in the Dodgers half of the second.
And here comes a guy who seems to get better and better through this season for the Dodgers, getting more and more playing time behind the plate. Alex Wolanski, I mean, he came in, probably looked like the best defensive catcher the Dodgers had, but the average isn't there yet, obviously at 0.87, but he worked a walk in that game 2 on Saturday, and he was pinch run for, but where he was came around to score the winning run on the Nick Ortega RBI base hit. So he just had a confident, productive at-bat in the 7th inning, and, well, the guy that pinch ran for him, which was Shmoy Christopher, came around to score.
First delivery to Wolanski misses up high, and the second one well outside into the left-hand batter's box. 2 balls and no strikes to Wolanski. Yeah, Wolanski is somebody that kind of eats, sleeps, and breathes baseball. We did a player profile on him for our first week's game. That's actually going to be up on the team website as well. It's not currently. I'm actually going to put that up there this week, the profile on Alex Wolanski. This guy loves baseball. From the time he was really young, he was always playing baseball, and it's pretty much the first thing on his mind as the 3-0 pitch is going to miss in, and Wolanski's going to take his place down at first base. Another walk, as you mentioned, being able to work that count and get on base. As now Brian Tego will stand in. Switch hitting outfielder from LaSalle University. Standing in from the left side against the right-handed pitching Mahoney. Takes a fastball poured in right down the middle. And he's down to the count, no balls and a strike. Alex Wolanski at first, not a really big lead. Don't really expect him to run. Probably going to need a ball in the gap and maybe even another hit to score Wolanski. And the fastball is going to miss up. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tego. Set by Mahoney. And he'll come home. And a little check swing tapper towards the third base coach's box. And Derek Brown picking up the baseball and throwing it back to the dugout. And Tego now, down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looking to pick up a big 2-out hit here as the Dodgers have a 1-0 lead. Not a lot of sun here today for this ball game, as it's been pretty overcast. Still blue skies, but all shadow. So lights are in effect. Here's a foul back to the screen. Tego appearing in his 18th game for Baltimore. 15 hits and 59 at-bats, takes the 1-2 delivery up at about the neckline. And that'll even the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tego, playing in his second season with the Dodgers, was a platoon player for the team last year as well. 2-2. Hard ground ball out to second. Right there is Miller. He'll underhand flip to Stover to complete the play, and that'll do it for the Dodgers. They get a runner on base, but they strand him right over there at first base. We're going to head to the third inning. It's 1-0 Dodgers. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. We're here in the top of the third inning. The Baltimore Dodgers hold a 1-0 lead against the Herndon Braves, and the Braves are going to send to the top of the order the plate to face off against Connor Grove out there for his third inning of work. That person in the form of Brett Norwood, and he'll take another pitch out of the zone. Be ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. His last time, Norwood walked after starting 3-0. Came back, did Grove to get to a 3-2 count and ended up walking him. And Norwood's going to advance yet again as he hits one off the end of the bat. And it gets down out in the left center field for a base hit. It's Caden Stover will come to the plate. Brett Norwood now over at first base. We'll see if he decides it's a good idea to run on that arm behind home plate, as it wasn't the last time he was on bases. Throw over to check on the runner, and getting back safely was Norwood.
And Rob, for the third consecutive inning, leadoff runner on for the Braves, and the last two, well, looks like they should have at least 2 runs on the board. Instead, they have 0, so see what happens here.
Runner fakes like he goes. Ground ball to the hole. Great play by James. Could they turn 2? They do! Fantastic play by the middle infield. Those are a couple all-stars there for the Dodgers. Austin James ranges deep into the hole, gets the out at second, and usually that's enough. Second baseman Joey Ortiz makes the turn, and the Dodgers get 2 on the 6-4-3 double play.
Yeah, great play from James just to get that out. I mean, he's ranging into the hole almost towards left field. You think he's going to catch it, stop, and throw over to first with all his momentum, but he goes the short way to second, and then you're thinking, oh, great force out. But as you said, Joey Ortiz, just the quickest hands I've seen in the Cal Ripken League all season. I mean, he catches that ball, and immediately it's into the glove and right out of his hand in a split second over to first. Good stretch by Coker to just get the out.
Now a line drive out in the center field. Going back a little bit is Shelby, but he's going to make the catch, no problems. And the Dodgers get a 1-2-3 inning. Maybe not the most conventional, but they're out of it without another run, or without any runs, as the score is still 1-0 Baltimore Dodgers. We're going to head to the bottom half. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Bottom of the third inning, Baltimore Dodgers lead this 1-0. Rob Stadnick alongside Connor Newcomb bringing you the call. As a very quick inning there by Connor Grove. That's the kind of stuff you like to see, especially when you're leading in this ball game.
Yeah, 5 pitches for Grove, and he gave up a base hit as well.
It's top of the order for the Dodgers as Joey Ortiz stands in and takes one just off the outside corner. Ortiz with a hard line drive into center field that was put out by Wheeler, made a nice diving catch and a little broken bat flare towards short, and Stover makes the catch. So that one getting in on the hands of Ortiz, is able to fight it off out to short, but unfortunately still in the air. And Ortiz gets a nice little souvenir. He's going to carry that, well, I guess can't really call it much else but a shiv back to the dugout. As David Bellamy will stand in. Bellamy walked and came around to score the only run of the game. He takes a fastball that catches the outside corner. And he's down on the count, no balls and 1 strike.
And Bellamy trying to prove that he can stay in this number 2 hole. He's been hitting better as of late, but Dodgers, as I said earlier, really haven't found a guy for that spot.
And he swings and misses a little bit late on the fastball, up and away. And he's down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. You said Bellamy also a teammate of Ortiz. They're used to hitting one after the other. Usually it's Ortiz following Bellamy, who's in the 9 spot. Today in the 2. The 0-2 is fouled away over towards the parking lot. Every time the ball goes over there, everybody in the press box leans to make sure it's not going towards their car. I've been doing this 3 years with the Dodgers. I've seen 1 car hit. At least hit badly, as that one fouled back into the screen and then down into the stands.
There's 2 back-to-back good competitive 0-2 pitches from Mahoney. Probably both pitches that are just going to be off the outside corner. If Bellamy takes them, they'll probably be balls, but they're close enough for him to think about swinging, and swing he does, and just able to foul them both off. Can't really do much with either of those pitches.
As the 0-2 swung on and missed, and a good at-bat there by Mahoney. What you call it? Man, I can't, my brain's not working right. I guess it's a good at-bat from Mahoney. Good pitch sequence, I guess, is probably better terminology. Good pitch sequence by Mahoney is, as you said, going away, and then coming back with that up fastball and gets Bellamy to swing through it. That's the 3rd strikeout for Mahoney, as he's going to face off against Brandon McElwain and deliver a strike.
Both these pitchers trying to work through some quick 3rd innings. Only 8 pitches so far for Mahoney, and it was 5 in the top half for Grove.
As McElwain's going to take an off-speed pitch. It's going to miss up. Count now even at a ball and a strike. McElwain, his last time, hit a little looper out to right that unfortunately didn't get down. It was caught by the right fielder, Pleggy. And a swing and a miss here, and McElwain down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Mahoney, even though hasn't been having the best success ERA-wise, has certainly found the strikeout touch. Coming into today, in his 5 innings of work, 7 strikeouts, and he's got 3 through 2 2/3 as a foul ball here. Keeps the count right where it's at a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. That's in the dirt. Good job by McElwain to hold off there. That's a waste pitch by Mahoney trying to get the chase. But if you can read college defenses, you can take a breaking ball in the dirt. 2-2 pitch on the way. And that's over the head of McElwain, and just more football references come to mind. Have to ask him which is scarier, blindside blitzing linebacker or a fastball coming towards your ear. That's probably a pretty good question for him.
Well, in college football, I mean, you can protect against it a little bit if you're yourself a good left tackle. In baseball, I don't think there's any big guys that are going to keep that fastball from coming near your head.
Can't recruit the catcher to just come out and jump in front for you. So 3-2 pitch is going to miss down and away, and McElwain reaching first via the walk. The third walk surrendered by Mahoney, one in each inning so far. As Shane Coker will come to the plate. Coker, well, with a hit back in the first and an RBI, the 11-game hit streak going strong. He's going to try and make it 2 hits in a row. Get a multi-hit game here. But he's going to have to see one in the strike zone as the first delivery from Mahoney missing up and away.
Yeah, and Coker, last almost 12 innings now for the Dodgers. They only have 2 runs. Both of them have been driven in by Shane Coker.
Lefty-righty matchup here as the 1-0 pitch will catch the inside corner at the belt, and Coker now even at 1-1 against Mahoney. Coker with 2 multi-hit games so far on the year. Had 3 hits back on June the 24th against the Braves. And that pitch missing, that looked like a good pitch. Must have been called a little bit high.
Yeah, missed just above the letters. It's probably just above the top of the umpire's strike zone there, but obviously Coker will take it.
2-1 pitch on the way. And Coker reaching for one and fouling it back to the padding behind home plate. We mentioned during his first at-bat the shift put on by the Express the last time when we played over at Johns Hopkins. Coker also had a nice double down the left field line. So Coker very adept at going the other way. You know, a lot of big lefties, you feel dead pull hitters, but he pulls off one here and swings and misses. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for Mahoney. He gets out of the 3rd, does surrender the walk, but that's about it. We're going to throw things over to Connor Newcomb for the 4th, 5th, and 6th when we get back. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball.
Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick as we're set to go in the 4th inning here from Joe Cannon Stadium. The Dodgers holding on to a 1-0 lead over the Herndon Braves. And it's Connor Grove out on the mound, who has still not been able to work really anything close. Well, I'd say the 3rd inning was close to a clean inning, but the 1st and 2nd, nowhere close to a clean inning. However, zeros on the board through 3 as he'll face Kieran Devaney. And the first pitch to him is grounded softly down to 3rd base. Up with his seal. Long throw across the diamond is in time. And 1 pitch, 1 out as Connor Grove continues his fast way of getting through these innings. 5 pitches to get through the 3rd inning, and now 1 pitch, 1 out here to start the 4th.
I think he just wants to prove you wrong, Connor. He wants to get that clean inning so you'll stop talking about it.
Alex Bernauer steps in with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Bernauer was a strikeout victim, the first one of the day for Connor Grove back in the 1st. A little breaking ball there, misses inside for ball 1.
Yeah, good pitch, backdoor breaking ball that was a good job by Bernauer to hold off.
And the 1-0 delivery from Grove. Fastball catches the outside corner. That's strike 1 to even the count. Bernauer getting ready for his senior season at Georgetown, but kind of came across the country, a native of Sunnyvale, California. 1-1 fouled straight back on the fastball. Counts now 1-2.
Yeah, interesting enough, last year he had a teammate at Georgetown that was on the Dodgers as well. His buddy, Jake Bernstein, a Penguins fan, And, of course, he was rooting for San Jose during the Stanley Cup final.
1-2 to Bernauer. That's lined into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Going over in the corner is Bellamy. He's going to pick it up. Here's the throw to second as Bernauer took a long turn, but he heads back to first base, and he's in there safely with a one-out single. He definitely thought about trying to test the arm of David Bellamy out in right field, but with all the base running mistakes so far for the Braves, he decides against it, and Herndon's got a one-out base runner.
Yeah, that would have been a mistake as well, as Bellamy was able to cut that one off before it even got to the warning track, made a nice strong throw into second base, and Bernauer would have been out by quite a bit.
So here comes the right-hand hitting Nick Wheeler with one on and one out. Grove in the set, first pitch fastball, misses below the knees for ball one. Wheeler today, he got hit by a pitch to lead off that second inning, and, well, he thought he had scored a run to tie the game at 1, but on a sac fly, what looked like a sac fly to Jaron Shelby, he left third base early and was called out. 1-0 is a fastball that runs up and in around the helmet of Wheeler. Had to get out of the way a little bit there, and the count's now 2-0. Wheeler finishing up his sophomore season at Grambling State University. Hit .253 down there in 45 games. Grove set. Here's the 2-0. Fastball lined foul. That looked like it was going to be ball 3, but Nick Wheeler jumped all over it, and that's out towards the cars in the parking lot, and that ball had a lot of steam.
Yeah, that one probably missed my car by about 10 feet or so. So it's hard for a right-handed hitter to pull that ball like that over there. That's one of those ones that the fans have to watch out for. That's why they extended the netting.
Now Grove set, looking in. The 2-1 to Wheeler. That's grounded foul down the third baseline. That one a lot closer to being fair, but it's just strike 2.
Yeah, actually a really smart pitch there by Connor Grove as he took something off of that, seeing how far ahead Wheeler was on the previous pitch, but Wheeler able to slow down a little bit, but the off-speed pitch making him pull it foul.
Now Bernauer getting his lead off first as Grove is set. 2-2, fastball runs inside. Looked like almost the same place that Wheeler decided to line that ball into the parking lot, but this time he thinks better of it and lays off. And the count goes full 3-2 as Bernauer is off first. We'll see if he's going here. 3-2 count with one out. Nick Wheeler at the plate. He was a strikeout victim 30 times at Grambling State this season. It's Connor Grove now looking in for a sign. He comes set all the way over on that third base side of the rubber. Quick check at first. The payoff pitch. That's lined into left field. Going back is Tago towards the gap. Shelby going back too, and it's going to get down up against the wall. Rounding second is Bernauer. Now he heads to third. He's going to be held up there. There's, again, a little bit of conservative base running from the Braves after they've run into a couple outs in this game. But it's a one-out double there for Nick Wheeler, and there's runners on second and third with one out.
Yeah, you almost saw that coming with Wheeler able to barrel up at least 2 other pitches in that at-bat. He's able to come back and get a pitch right down the middle, and he just absolutely smacked that out in the left center field. We talk about it all season long. The large dimensions here in the gaps at Joe Cannon Stadium really prevented that from being a home run. He hit that towards the 380 sign. The power alleys are 380 here at Joe Cannon Stadium, where most places that's probably gone.
So here's Bo Plaguey. He hit a double over Tago's head out in left field back in the second when the Braves ended up with second and third, nobody out, but they couldn't score after leaving early from third base was Nick Wheeler. And, well, now it's Wheeler on second, Bernauer on third with one out, and Plaguey steps in 1 for 1 on the day. Interesting enough, Dodgers were to maybe walk him. Tim Johnson and Chandler Miller coming up next, both 0 for 1. First pitch lined into left field. Tago coming in on it. He makes the catch. He'll throw towards the plate, and holding up at third is Bernauer and heading back to the base. So a good play by Brian Tago. He comes up with the catch. His momentum taking him towards home plate, and he fires a perfect throw to the cutoff man. And there's 2 down as the runner stays at third base.
Yeah, Bernauer not the fleetest of foot, and as you said, with Tago coming in on that baseball, he has all his momentum heading towards home plate. It would have been extremely close. Bernauer, the ball probably would have beat Bernauer by a good 2-3 steps. It would have all mattered where that throw ended up.
So here's the left fielder, Tim Johnson, from the right side, 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. First pitch breaking ball. That's a good decision from Connor Grove. He drops it right there for strike 1.
You have to wonder if with these balls being hit extremely hard, the Dodgers are playing with fire with these first 4 innings. They might be looking to get somebody up soon.
0-1 from Grove. Breaking ball in the opposite batter's box, but a good stop from Wolanski. Couldn't find it at first, but then sees where it is, and the runners stay where they are.
Luckily, just a couple feet behind the point of home plate. Otherwise, Bernauer might have been on his way down.
Something that Connor Grove does with runners on third base. Works out of the windup. You'll see some pitchers do that, but not too many. 1-1 fastball that's fouled off over the Braves dugout. And Grove's now ahead 1-2, and he's one pitch away from again sneaking his way out of a jam. As he does in the stretch, also does it in the windup. Kind of stands all the way over as far as he can get on the third base side of the pitching rubber. He gets his sign. And here comes the 1-2 pitch to Tim Johnson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Connor Grove again works his way out of trouble and puts up another 0 here in the 4th inning. We'll head to the bottom half here at Joe Cannon Stadium. It's Dodgers 1 and Braves nothing. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the Dodgers lead the Herndon Braves 1-0. The Dodgers coming in at 10-16 on the year. And they're 4-5 here at Joe Cannon Stadium. The Braves coming into this game at 12-14, 2 games ahead of the Dodgers in the standings. They hold the number 1 wild card spot right now, do the Braves. Dodgers sitting a half game back of that number 2 spot. And Mahoney delivers. First pitch, it's a little blooper out to center field, coming in hard, and it falls in. That's a base hit for Austin James. So James kind of gets one off the end of the bat, but it works out well for him. He's got a leadoff single here in the 4th.
Yeah, good for Austin James. Been struggling. We mentioned a little bit about that before the game. Struggling just a little bit for the last few games of the season. Able to get a hit here to lead off things in the 4th for the Dodgers.
So now Jaron Shelby, the guy that's been struggling a lot more than Austin James had. And be interesting to see what Eric Brown might employ here. It could be a situation where you have a guy struggling, you maybe have him lay down a sacrifice bunt. I'm not the biggest fan of the bunt, but with a guy that's average is plummeting towards 100 right now, maybe just getting a good feeling, getting a runner over could help him at the plate. Now Mahoney set, first base side, and he does square to bunt, but then pulls back as the pitch misses up and in for ball 1.
So good call on that. Also, very good speed for Shelby, so maybe not all necessarily a sacrifice, as he could go the David Bellamy route and drop down that bunt in order to get a hit as well as move the runner up.
Mahoney set, checking James at first. Here comes the 1-0, squaring again as Shelby pulls back, and that pitch is a little below the knees, also off the outside corner, and the count's 2-0. So Mahoney rattled a little bit after that first pitch. He made a good pitch on the outside corner to James, fought it off into center field for a hit, and now Shelby squaring to bunt, but he can't throw it in the strike zone so far. Now set the 2-0, and that ball is going to get all the way back to the backstop. So Jaron Shelby's job is done for him on what might go down as a pass ball. That's a tricky call there, but either way, Austin James over to second base.
Yeah, that one was pretty close. I don't know if it got to Devney in the air or not. Usually going to err on the side of wild pitch. But that's probably one he wants to catch, and he probably should catch.
See if Shelby's taking here, the 3-0. And that's grounded towards third base, and it's down the line, a fair ball. Here comes Austin James, rounding third. He's coming to the plate. Shelby is in, an RBI double for Jaron Shelby. And the Dodgers double the lead as Shelby maybe getting the monkey off his back there. It's 2-0 Baltimore.
Yeah, Jaron with, as you say, the double down the line right there. There might have been a play at the plate. However, the left fielder Johnson had a little bit of trouble picking up the baseball, so he ended up just ended up getting that ball back into second base as Jaron Shelby came in with a stand-up double. Dodgers lead this one 2-0.
So in steps Zach Seal now out of Wake Forest. He's got another RBI opportunity. So Shelby squared to bunt on the first 3 pitches. They all missed out of the zone, and finally gets to swing away and gets himself an RBI double. Mahoney set. First pitch, swing and a miss. Good fastball outside part of the plate. And the count's now 0-1.
Yeah, a little extra juice there, I think, after giving up that run. Maybe the adrenaline and the anger flowing a little bit from Mahoney.
Seal struck out looking for the second out in the second inning. That was K number 2 for Mahoney, who now has 4 strikeouts on the day. Taking a long look back at Shelby, who's got a pretty decent lead at second. Looking back again, and he finally steps off as Jaron Shelby making Mahoney think about him out there at second base. And now time called at the plate by Zach Seal. So Mahoney having to step on and off the rubber. He's finished up his sophomore season at Prince George's Community College. He's a native of Largo, Maryland, went to Garfield High School. Now set. It's fisted into right field. The infield was in, and it falls in for a base hit. Here comes Shelby to the plate. The throw to the plate is not nearly in time. RBI single, Zach Seal. And it's 3-0 Dodgers as the speed of Shelby gets the run home.
Yeah, that's not your prototypical base hit RBI run scoring from second base as the ball barely got into right field, but a little looper over the first baseman Bernauer, and Seal picking up the RBI.
Almost looked like Bernauer was playing the bunt from Zach Seal, maybe expecting a sacrifice bunt. He was, in front of the bag with a runner on, maybe even with the bag with a runner on second, and Zach Seal just found the hole, and it's 3-0. Up steps Alex Wilansky. He's 0 for 0 on the day. A 4-pitch walk to him back in the second. First pitch, he squares to bunt, pulls back, but Mahoney finding the strike zone on that one with the fastball as the count's 0-1. So the Dodgers looking to play small ball so far in this inning, but haven't really been able to execute it, and it's really worked out in their favor.
Not something you usually see. Usually when the small ball doesn't work, it's pretty bad and catastrophic for the offense.
Mahoney set. Quick check over to first base. Wilansky squares again. He pops up the bunt, and it just lands in foul down the first baseline. You had the pitcher Mahoney, the first baseman Bernauer, and the catcher Devaney all going for it, but kind of just landed right in the middle of them. None of them really had a good chance at it, but now Wilansky down 0-2, and it would be surprising if he again tries to square to bunt.
Now, Wilansky, you could tell, not particularly pleased with himself. He's somebody that takes the details pretty seriously, as we mentioned earlier. Big baseball guy from the time he was young, and definitely wanted to get that down for his team.
0-2, it's grounded softly out to shortstop. Up with it is the third baseman, Norwood, and he's not going to have any play. It would have been a tough play at first anyway, the only way he could go, but when he came up with it, bobbled the transfer, and it could be an infield hit for Alex Wilansky. I think that's what it's that's a tough call there.
They are going to go ahead and charge that as an error. I think if he comes up with it clean, he probably, with a slow-rowing Wilansky, probably has a pretty good shot there, but he does bobble it and ends up slipping as he tries to reach back. So Wilansky reaching on the error by the third baseman, Norwood.
So now Brian Tago steps in. First and second, nobody out for the Dodgers, who already have 2 runs in the inning. Now Tago squaring to bunt, and he pulls back as the pitch misses in the dirt. So the Dodgers, 3 consecutive batters have had a chance to possibly lay down a sacrifice bunt. None of them have done so successfully, and all of them have reached base. Now Mahoney set. Pitch to Tago. He squares this time. That's down the third baseline, but picked up in foul territory by Devaney. And for me, who is a big opponent of the sacrifice bunt, this inning is really working out for me and my beliefs on the game of baseball.
See, now I'm more of a baseball traditionalist. I like small ball. I was talking about it with Joey. I'm a fan of the National League over the American League just because I feel like more strategy and more of a chess match type of game rather than just pure power. So I do like this type of baseball.
Now Mahoney set, looking back at second. Tago squares, pulls the bunt back, and it's a ball. Now the throw down to second Well, it made it to second base, and getting back in safely was Zach Seal, but that ball met the ground a couple times before it got to second base. I'll be generous and say it hit the ground 3 times before it made it to second, but in safely is Zach Seal. So the count 2-1 as Mahoney set again. He's still looking at Seal back at second. Tego squares, and the pitch misses outside as he pulls the bunt back. The count's now 3-1.
Now Mahoney absolutely struggling to let the Dodgers give them an out. Dodgers saying, here, take an out. And Mahoney's like, no thanks. I'm just going to throw it all over the place.
So he's set. Here's the 3-1. Tego squaring, and he gets it down in fair play this time. Up with it is Devaney. Now he bobbles, and Tego is safe. The Herndon Braves are having a day to forget here at Joe Cannon Stadium, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. It was a nice job by Kieran Devaney. He comes up with it, pounces out from behind the plate. I mean, jumps on that ball immediately. Took a quick peek at third. I mean, how fast he got to that ball, but then realized the smartest play was at first. But by the time he realized that, the ball was no longer in his hand. Sitting on the ground, and the bases are juiced for Joey Ortiz. And the first pitch to Ortiz is a fastball that misses up and in. That's going to be ball 1, so another error there charged against the Braves. It would be a sacrifice, and then reaching on the error is Tego at first base. Now Mahoney set. 1-0, that's popped into right field. Going back is the first baseman Bernauer. Coming in is Plaguey. Now it's going to be Miller, the second baseman, who makes the catch, fires it into home plate, and the runners will stay right where they are with 1 away.
Yeah, not an ideal situation there for Ortiz, one of the better hitters on this Dodger lineup, and unable to get that run home from third base with nobody away.
So the infield fly rule was never put into effect there because that was still kind of a tough Bermuda Triangle style play. But making the catch out there is Miller, and now David Bellamy in with 1 out, and the base is still juiced. First delivery from Mahoney, fastball in there at the letters for strike 1. Dodgers looking for the big hit here that would really break the game open. They've already got 2 runs in the inning and lead at 3-0, but they'd like a couple more. That pitch is way outside to Bellamy, and the count evens up 1-1. As we talked about, Connor Grove, he's through 4 scoreless innings, the Dodgers starting pitcher, but not without some struggles out there on the mound. He's really had to work through these 4 innings to keep him scoreless, and it kind of seems like the Braves are bound to break through at some point, so these runs could be big for the Dodgers. The 1-1, that misses a little up high just above the letters, and the count's now 2-1. A good take there from David Bellamy, who comes into this at-bat 0 for 1. He walked and came around to score back in the first, and then he struck out swinging to end the 3rd inning. Mahoney set at the belt. Here comes the 2-1. Fastball foul tipped off the glove, and the count's now 2-2.
Yeah, got to look out for that high fastball. It's the same pitch that Bellamy struck out in his last at-bat and the one he just swung through right there. So maybe Devney and Mahoney recognizing that fact and looking to go back there here with this 2-2 pitch.
Mahoney would look for a big strikeout here, or even better for him, a ground ball to an infielder. Checking back at second, here's the 2-2. That's lined foul over towards the parking lot, and the count stays 2-2. Mahoney laboring through this inning a little bit, but he's used to getting through innings, at least during his college season at PGCC. He pitched 67 in the 3rd innings. That led the team by more than 15 innings pitched, so he was really the workhorse for Prince George's this season. Now Mahoney said, looking back, another 2-2. That misses inside, and the count goes full, and there's nowhere to put Bellamy with the bases loaded. Mahoney's going to need to make a big pitch here. He struck out 83 batters and walked just 32 during his college season, and so far this summer, 8 walks, 7 strikeouts. The 3-2 is popped down the line in left field, and it goes foul to keep the count full.
Yeah, good job there by Bellamy, fouling one off. That one may be a little bit high and outside, but a little too close for comfort and having to protect. Again, got to look out for that high fastball here, 3-2.
Those 8 walks and 7 strikeouts have now amounted to 11 walks and 11 strikeouts, if you count the ones in this game so far for Mahoney. Another payoff pitch. Fastball lined into right field, going over is Plaguey. He's going back towards the wall, and he's not going to get there. It's into the gap. 1 run scores. The second run's going to score. Going all the way to third base is David Bellamy with a 3 RBI triple. He clears the bases, and the Dodgers double the lead. They're pouring it on in the fourth. It's 6-0 Baltimore.
Yeah, Bellamy absolutely turning on a fastball in the inner part. Again, that big gap, this time out in right center. And once it gets down to that fence, if you've got any type of speed, you're getting into third base standing. Right fielder Plaguey, really no chance to catch that ball, was just chasing it from the get-go. Clearing the bases, the Dodgers lead this one 6-0 now, and they are putting it on, and we're going to see a pitching change.
So a change is going to be made on the mound. That's the end of the day for John Mahoney. He lasts 3 1/3, and that runner on third base and David Bellamy, his responsibility, but 6 runs cross the plate. He's not gotten any help from his defense, however, so not all 6 of these runs so far are going to be earned to him. But we get to the new pitcher when we come back. It's the Dodgers 6 and the Braves 0 here in the bottom of the fourth. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick. The new pitcher is the right-hander Connor Jones for the Herndon Braves. He will face Brandon McElwain. And the first pitch from Jones is a fastball poured down the middle for strike 1 to the Dodgers' designated hitter. Jones has pitched 18 2/3 innings this season for the Braves. He's got a 5.3 ERA, struck out 14 batters, and walked 9. 0-1 pitch is in the dirt. Good stop there by Devaney, and the count's now 1-1. Jones given up 21 hits over those 18 2/3 innings. And this will be his 7th appearance, his 5th one out of the bullpen. Also has made 2 starts for the Braves, so has kind of been jack of all trades on the mound. 1-1, fastball in there at the knees, end on the corner. Perfect spot there from Jones. And the count's now 1-2. So it looks like those final 3 runs will be unearned for John Mahoney because of the 2 errors that allowed Wolanski and Tago to reach. 1-2. Pop foul over the Herndon dugout. Because those 2 should have been outs, and then Joey Ortiz followed with a pop-up just in shallow right field that recorded the first out of the inning, what should have been the third. It looks like those 3 runs will be unearned, so 3 earned runs charged to John Mahoney. 1-2 to McElwain, lined into left center field, base hit. That's going to be cut off in center field, but McElwain digging for second base as Wheeler gets it in, and he's going to be safe at second. That's an RBI double for McElwain. 7-0 Dodgers as the offense breaking out here on a Wednesday night at Joe Cannon Stadium.
Yeah, another gapper we see. That one doesn't quite get to the fence, but again, the large outfields, even though Wheeler's able to cut it off, Brandon McElwain with pretty good speed, even though he's been running on a bad wheel, able to get into second base easily and give the Dodgers a 7-0 lead.
So still 1 out in the inning as the Dodgers have now batted around as the final man out of the 9 to come to the plate is up, and it's Shane Coker. First pitch misses well outside for ball 1. So it's Connor Jones trying to limit the damage here. Just finished up his sophomore season at Lafayette College, but he is a native of Herndon, Virginia, so easy choice for him to play for the Herndon Braves. 1-0 is fouled straight back, and the count evens up at 1-1. Went to Oakton High School down there in Virginia, did Connor Jones. Gave you his summer stats in his college season, 27 appearances. He was the most used reliever out of that Lafayette bullpen. All 27 were out of the pen, so he never made a start, although he has made 2 starts for the Braves this summer as that fastball misses outside to Coker. Counts now 2-1. Jones in 46 1/3 innings pitched posted a 6.41 ERA, allowed 62 hits and 33 earned runs, struck out 25 and walked 21. 2-1, good changeup. Coker swings right through it, and the count evens at 2-2. He also allowed 4 home runs on the mound for Lafayette, and opposing hitters hit .321 against him in just over 46 innings this season. Now the 2-2. That's lined foul over the Dodger dugout, and the count stays 2-2.
Now Mahoney, his last inning was certainly an abnormality, as he actually had a pair of strikeouts in each of the previous 2, but then the Dodger bats just started to find him out a little bit, and obviously out of the ball game at this point.
Another 2-2. That's popped down the left field line, but it'll trickle out of play for a foul ball. As the count stays 2-2, and Mahoney obviously, as we talked about, got no help from his defense. An error at third base on a ground ball from Alex Wolanski, and then when Brian Tega was trying to give the Braves an out, catcher Devaney couldn't come up with it. 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Jones comes in and gets the strikeout there on a little off-speed pitch on the outside corner, and there's now 2 down as Austin James comes up for the second time in this inning. If you remember way back when, to start the bottom of the 4th inning, when the Dodgers had just a minuscule 1-0 lead, James got a fastball off the end of the bat that he just poked into center field for a base hit. And 9 batters later, he's up again, and the Dodgers lead at 7-0. Jones set, first pitch to James. Breaking ball misses low for ball 1. Jones set again. He's over on the first base side of the rubber, and that's fouled off. And he's quickly, it's now 1-1, but Jones kind of throwing strikes here. Mahoney really didn't have too much trouble with the strike zone. He did issue 3 walks, but his issue in this 4th inning is really just getting hit around and then the defense not giving him any help. Jones set the 1-1. That hits the outside corner. Good spot there, and the count's now 1-2. So as we said, it should be 3 runs charged to Mahoney, and the other 3 go unearned. The other 4, That fastball misses off the outside corner. Jones was trying to see how far the umpire would let him go out. And that one, well, the home plate umpire said no, as that caught the left-handed batter's box.
Yeah, it's pushing it just a bit.
Jones set, checking at second. 2-2 is fouled straight back. He tried to go off speed. James was fooled a bit, but still got a piece. As we're obviously pleased up here with the Dodgers dropping 6 runs in the 4th, but the scorekeeper's nightmare is you have to bat around, you have to scratch out the next innings and go into the next column. Another 2-2 fouled off right at the plate as it maybe got a piece of James and also Devaney behind the plate, and the count stays 2-2 with 2 outs. The deuces are wild here in the bottom of the 4th. The Dodgers leading the Herndon Braves 7-0. Baltimore got 1 run in the 1st, and Connor Grove, well, he's labored through 4 innings but hasn't allowed a run to score, and then finally what we thought was going to be a Braves offensive breakout we were waiting for never happened, and then the Dodgers came up and broke out here in the 4th. They've already got 6 runs across the plate. Another 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Connor Jones comes in, does a marvelous job of getting out of it, but not before the Dodgers strike and strike big. 6 runs in the inning as they chase the starting pitcher Mahoney. We will head to the 5th here at Joe Cannon Stadium. It's the Dodgers. They've got a touchdown and an extra point on the board. They lead the Braves 7-0. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick as we're set to go in the top of the 5th inning here between the Herndon Braves and the Baltimore Dodgers. The Dodgers came into the bottom of the 4th with just a 1-0 lead, and as we head to the 5th, it's 7-0. Connor Grove back out there on the hill. He's pitched an interesting 4 innings, but most importantly, a scoreless 4 innings. As he's into his wind, first pitch here is a fastball that one hops its way to home plate for ball 1. The batter here is the number 9 hole hitter, Chandler Miller. Miller 0 for 1. He grounded out to short in the 2nd. That ended the inning. Swing and a miss. Good fastball there on the 1-0, and the count evens up at 1-1. Final line for John Mahoney. 3 1/3 innings pitched. He gave up 5 hits. As Grove comes to the plate quickly, fastball misses inside. As down to his backside is the hitter, Miller, but, well, the pitch didn't hit him, and the count's now 2-1. Mahoney 5 hits, 7 runs, but only 3 of them earned. 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. He picks up 10 outs for the Braves. 2-1 fastball misses just outside, a little above the letters as well, and tried to put it on a perfect spot on the corner, but it just missed that corner, and the count's now 3-1. Grove quickly into the wind. 3-1 pitch lined hard out to left field. Tego going back towards the track. It's at the wall, and it's gone. Lead-off home run here in the 5th for Chandler Miller as the Herndon Braves try to fight back here, and they get a good start. The leadoff shot makes it 7-1 in the 5th.
An absolute, this is the story of the 2017 Baltimore Dodgers. You get runs, and you can't have a shutdown inning following that. 6 runs and a leadoff homer to the 9th place hitter, Chandler Jones. It's insane the way this pitching staff has been able to do that. They just come out and they can just give runs right back.
So Connor Grove back out there on the mound trying to forget that home run. First pitch breaking ball. That's a good spot on the inside corner. For strike 1, the leadoff hitter, Brett Norwood. Norwood 1 for 1 on the day. Reached on a leadoff walk back in the 1st, was caught stealing, and then singled in the 3rd.
And I might be looking at this wrong, but looks like that was Chandler Jones's first hit of the season. He's only appeared in one other game, had 1 at bat.
1-1 bounces, and the count's now 2-1.
And I'm looking at it wrong.
Yeah,
for Chandler Miller.
He's had a solid season. He's hitting .333. Coming into this game, he was 22 for 66, so that's his 23rd hit of the year. As far as home runs go, though, that's only number 2 this season.
Guess I was just looking for something strange to have happened there.
2-1 fouled straight back, and the count evens up at 2-2. It'd be big for Grove to come back and get an out here after serving up that solo home run that led off the 5th inning after the Dodgers put up a 6 spot in the bottom of the 4th. Grove into his wind, the 2-2. Breaking ball misses in the dirt, and the count is full now to the left-handed hitting Norwood. Norwood, as we talked about, the lone Herndon Brave, who was going to that showcase event down in North Carolina, and he's really been one of their most productive players and also one of their better prospects. There'll be a visit on the mound here. We'll see if that's it for Connor Grove, who, we said, labored through 4 but put up a 0, but then the first batter in the 5th took him deep out to left field. Brian Tego gave it a look, but it was long gone and made it a 7-1 ball game. Long chat out here at the mound, and be an interesting decision. I mean, interesting to go out with the count at 3-2. You would think that Grove would stay on here to at least finish off this batter, and that's what's going to happen. Pitching coach Ed Chestnut will head back to the Baltimore dugout.
Yeah, Alex Parker warming up for the Dodgers down in the left field bullpen. Parker, right-hander out of Towson University.
So Grove with the glove over his face. Now he's into his windup. The payoff pitch. Fastball lined out to second base on 2 hops. Ortiz up with it, throwing to first, and it's a big out for Grove. There's 1 away here in the 5th.
That ball hit pretty hard, but catching the grass here at Joe Cannon Stadium definitely starts to slow down the ball. Ortiz getting in front of it, making a pretty easy play, and 1 out here in the top half of the 5th inning for Connor Grove. Be nice to get him through this so he'd be eligible for a win.
Grove into his wind. First pitch, breaking ball. That's right down the middle for strike one to Caden Stover. Stover on the day, he's 1 for 2. He singled back in the first, but was thrown out on the error where he he ran home for no apparent reason. That ball's popped up in the infield. Going back is Austin James. He's 1 step onto the outfield grass and makes the catch. There's 2 down. Talk about that play where Stover ran home. Not really sure why. The ball got by Shane Coker at first, but it hit that fence that's fairly close to first base. Coker, went around, picked it up, looked home to Wilansky, and saw that the runner was about a quarter of the way. Not a very tough throw for Coker. I know first basemen aren't said to have great arms, but he threw him out easily. Here's the pitch from Grove. Good breaking ball, kind of front-doored it and fouled it off softly over the Herndon dugout was Richard Constantine. Constantine, the designated hitter, 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on an error in the first, then flew out to center in the third. Grove into that wind where the left foot goes behind the rubber, and a fastball popped high into the air. Joey Ortiz this time will be 1 step onto the grass, and he makes the catch. So the Braves finally get to Connor Grove with a leadoff home run from Chandler Miller, but after that, Grove settles down and works a 1-2-3 fifth after the home run. So we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning as we're halfway home here at Joe Cannon Stadium. It's the Dodgers 7 and the Braves 1. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick as we're set to go in the bottom of the 5th inning from Joe Cannon Stadium. It's the Dodgers 7 and the Herndon Braves 1. The Braves got the leadoff home run from Chandler Miller in the 5th inning, and that gave them their first run after the Dodgers scored 6 in the bottom of the first. First hitter here for Baltimore is Jaron Shelby. He'll face Connor Jones, and he fouls off a fastball for strike 1. Jones came in back in the 4th with 1 down. He allowed a double to the first batter of the inning. That was Brandon McElwain. Allowed the 7th run to score for the Dodgers, but after that got a couple of strikeouts of Shane Coker and Austin James to really limit the damage and get John Mahoney, off the hook. That pitch missed inside to Shelby, 1-1. Now the 1-1's a fastball where just missed the outside corner, maybe a little below the knees as well, and the count goes to 2-1. Shelby 1 for 2 on the day. He had an RBI double back in the 4th. Came around to score as well. Struck out in the 2nd. That one's popped foul, and the count's now 2-2. Nice breaking ball there from Connor Jones. Shelby looking to break out of a almost season-long slump that's had him hitting close to 100 on the year. Jones into his wind. Here's the 2-2. Fastball, check swing from Shelby. They'll check it first, and he did not go around. The count was full, 3-2. Jaron Shelby trying to be the leadoff man to get on here. Start another rally for the Dodgers after a 6-run 4th. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Connor Jones goes with the off-speed stuff, and it fools Jaron Shelby. There's one away. That's the third consecutive strikeout for Connor Jones, who has struck out, or has recorded a strikeout, for all 3 outs he's recorded so far in this game.
From Wake Forest University, number 19,
And we saw with Zach Seal coming to the plate now, Jaron Shelby actually stopping to talk to Seal, maybe giving him some insight as to what he saw during his at-bat.
First pitch fastball to Seal. Good take there. Misses just below the knees for ball 1. Zach Seal, another guy who's 1 for 2 on the day. He had an RBI single in that 4th inning. Came around to score as he swings through that fastball as the count's 1-1, and he struck out looking in the 2nd. Pretty much everybody got on base back in that 4th inning, and Seal was one of them. So only 2 guys didn't reach base in that inning. That was Joey Ortiz and Shane Coker. 1-1 fastball taken by Seal, misses above the letters, and the count's now 2-1.
Yeah, 2 batters that you wouldn't expect to be the 2 batters not to reach base.
Yeah, interesting. The 2 average leaders on the Dodgers, the only guys who didn't get on base. 2-1, check swing. They say Seal went around on a pitch just off the inside corner, and the count's now 2-2. Seal, as Rob talked about earlier, is looking to get more playing time at Wake Forest this season. Can play both corner infield positions. 2-2, swing and a miss. Another good changeup from Connor Jones. That's 4 strikeouts in a row for the righty. Maybe he should have been the starter today for the Braves. And there's 2 away.
now batting, the catcher from Eastern Michigan University, number 9, Wolansky.
Now Alex Wolansky steps in. Another guy who got on base last inning, but he's 0 for 1. Reached on a error by the third baseman and came around to score. He also walked in the 2nd, so he's been on base both times. First pitch to him, he swings through another good off-speed delivery, and the count's now 0-1. Connor Jones, the righty, came in, allowed an RBI double to Brandon McElwain, but since then has struck out 4 consecutive batters swinging. 0-1 fastball misses up high, and the count's 1-1 to Wolansky. And those 4 in a row were Shane Coker, Austin James, Jaron Shelby, and Zach Seal, all 4 going down swinging. Into his wind is Jones, the 1-1. Breaking ball misses way outside, and the count's now 2-1. Jones came in with 14 strikeouts in 18 2/3 innings, and now he's got 4 strikeouts in this game in just an inning in the 3rd. Jones on the first base side of the rubber. 2-1, swing and a miss, good fastball right around the knees to Wolansky, and the count evens up 2-2 as the deuces are wild here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dodgers leading at 7-1 over the Herndon Braves. This Wednesday night matchup here at Joe Cannon Stadium. Dodgers coming in at 10-16, the Braves at 12-14, both fighting for that wild card or 2 wild card spots. Breaking ball, swing and a miss by Wolansky. It goes all the way back to the backstop. Here's the throw to first, and it's not in time. So the 5th strikeout for Connor Jones, the 5th consecutive swinging strikeout, but it's not going to be an out as it gets back to the backstop on the wild pitch, and the Dodgers have a 2-out base runner.
We saw that here way back in the first week of the season where Mark Watson had a chance to get the 4 strikeout inning, the ever elusive 4 strikeout inning. And we see Connor Jones with that opportunity here. Of course, Dodgers with an opportunity still to score a run.
Now Jones set, and the first pitch fastball runs way outside to Brian Tago, the switch hitter, who hits from the left side. He's one of 3 switch hitters in this Dodgers roster. Not something you really see on a lot of college teams or collegiate summer teams. You have 3 switch hitters. 1-0, he pops it high into the air, into center field. Wheeler coming in, but Stover going back. He calls him off and makes the catch. So after 5 consecutive strikeouts, Connor Jones finally records an out in the field of play, but he gets 3 Ks in the inning, but he's going to feel like he had to get 4 outs to get out of it, but he puts up a 0 anyway. We head to the 6th inning here at Joe Cannon Stadium. Dodgers with a commanding 7-1 lead over the Herndon Braves. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb here alongside Rob Stadnick as we're set to go in the top of the 6th inning here between the Baltimore Dodgers and the Herndon Braves. Dodgers leading this game 7-1. 6-run 4th inning really helping them out. Connor Grove back out on the mound after 4 innings of scoreless baseball. Then he gave up a solo homer to lead off the 5th, but that was all. First pitch is a breaking ball poured into the strike zone. 4-strike-1. Kieran Devaney, the catcher, is in the batter's box from the right side. The pitch misses. Well, that's not anywhere close to the strike zone as a little bit of rain starting to fall here at Joe Cannon Stadium. Connor Grove gets a chance to blame that pitch on maybe a slick ball as that one bounced in the opposite batter's box, nowhere close to home plate. And that fastball misses way inside, counts now 2-1.
So you missed your chance to say blame it on the rain. Maybe sing a little bit.
I can't get all the puns, Rob. Only some of them. 2-1 fastball, line down the left field line. That falls in fair for a base hit and goes to the corner. Tago comes up with it in that corner, and getting into second base easily with a leadoff stand-up double is Kieran Devaney.
Yeah, it might be time to start looking at getting Grove out of the ball game. They've got pitcher warming up. Alex Parker still down there, throwing again, I should say, as he sat down after that last inning. But only 1 inning so far that the Braves have not gotten that leadoff runner on base, and 2 hard-hit balls each of the last 2 innings. So it feels like it's going to break out for the Braves.
Here's the left-handed hitting Alex Bernauer, and first pitch to him is a fastball. Misses off the plate and up high as well for ball 1. Bernauer on the day 1 for 2. He struck out swinging to strand a couple of runners back in the first, and then he singled but was stranded at third base with nobody out in the 4th. Grove set. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses off the inside corner, and the count's now 2-0 to the left-handed hitter. Grove again falling behind to Bernauer. And still some work going in that Dodger bullpen. Now Grove set, looking back at second. Time will be called, and it looks like a stray baseball. That may have came down from that bullpen as the bat boy is going to get on it. And then we'll get back into play with the count at 2-0. Grove comes set, as we've talked about, all the way over as far as he can get on that third base side of the rubber. 2-0 is a fastball that runs way too far outside, and the count's now 3-0, and I think Ed Chestnut and Derek Brown have to seriously consider getting him out of this game after this batter, really no matter what happens. You can't be too result-oriented. Even if Bernauer were to maybe roll over on a 3-0 pitch here, you still have to know that Grove's missing the strike zone. 3-0 pitch is a fastball, hits the inside part of the plate, and the count's now 3-1. Looks like Bernauer was taking all the way there as none of Grove's first 3 pitches to him were particularly close. Now Grove set. Quick check back towards the runner at second base, who's Devaney, and the pitch. Fastball line back towards us, and from 3-0, Grove comes back and gets the count full 3-2.
Yeah, we've seen him do that a few times this game. It really brings up the pitch count, certainly, and something to look out for here with this rain falling. A couple things. One, that grass is going to be slick. Normally, it slows balls down for the infielders. It might actually speed them up.
Grove came set originally, then stepped off the back of the rubber as he thinks about this big 3-2 pitch. Connor Grove looking in, who made 5 appearances out of the bullpen for Judson this season. The payoff pitch, off-speed pitch, misses just above the letters. Interesting spot there, but taking was Bernauer, and he had a good eye. And it's a no-out walk, so runners on first and second with nobody out. Dodgers still have a big 7-1 lead, but this is a big time in the game here with the center fielder Nick Wheeler stepping to the plate. We're going to have a visit to the mound, and that looks like it's going to be Derek Brown coming to get his pitcher, and he will signal to the bullpen. So that's it for Connor Grove, who works through 5 innings, giving up just the 1 run, but these 2 runners on the leadoff double and then the walk are his responsibility. We'll take a short break here at Joe Cannon Stadium. When we get back, we'll get you the new pitcher for the Dodgers as they lead it 7-1. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick in the top of the 6th inning. And the new pitcher for the Dodgers coming in for Connor Grove is the right-hander Alex Parker out of Towson University. He'll work with runners on second and first with nobody out. Right-handed hitting Nick Wheeler stepping into the batter's box. First pitch to him as Wheeler squares to bunt, pulls back, and the breaking ball misses low and outside for ball 1.
So now here's where I am on board with you. Why try and bunt here in a 5-run ball game, 6-run ball game? Excuse me. Those 2 runs don't mean anything. You need a big inning right here.
Yeah, not a fan of this move from the Braves, but I haven't been a fan of a lot of their moves tonight, and that's probably why they're down 7-1. Parker set, and here comes the 1-0. Wheeler not bunting this time, but he takes a fastball in the inside corner. Good pitch from Parker for strike 1.
So maybe we shouldn't have said. Maybe they're listening to our broadcast and just like change things up because of it. So maybe we'll just strategy-wise keep it tight.
Now Parker set, checking back at second. And a second check back there as Wheeler wiggles the bat at home plate, and calling time at the very last second was Wheeler.
Yeah, home plate umpire not having to grant it there, and if you feel a pitch is imminent, it's almost better that you just allow the pitch to be delivered.
Parker set, first base side of the rubber. And 1-1 is in the dirt. Good stop from Wolanski, keeps it in front of him, and more importantly, keeps the runners right where they are. Alex Parker, the righty, he was just a freshman at Towson University, so he'll be a sophomore next spring. Native of Westminster, Maryland, went to the McDonough School. In 7 appearances out of the bullpen for the Tigers, he posted 7 1/3 innings pitched, so basically a 1-inning guy out of the pen, and the ERA is not pretty to look at. 15.95 earned run average for Parker. And the pitch, fastball misses way up high, and the count's now 3-1. Parker in those 7 1/3 innings gave up 10 hits and 14 runs, 13 of them were earned. Struck out only 3 and walked 9, and also hit 5 batters, so that's a 3 strikeout to 14 free pass ratio that you really don't want to have, and that can be contributed to that big ERA. It really would only take 1 hit to probably get a couple runs on the board against him. Now Parker set looking back, and the 3-1 is fouled right back towards us and into the netting, so he gets the count full 3-2 with a fastball.
Now, more importantly, getting a dry baseball back from the home plate umpire, so maybe get a good grip here to try and record this strikeout that the Dodgers desperately need.
Runners on first and second, nobody out in the top of the 6th. Dodgers leading the Braves 7-1. It's a 3-2 count to Wheeler. Parker set with the glove right around his chin, looking back at second, and the payoff pitch. Popped high into the air. It's going to go up and over the press box, and the count stays full. Alex Parker had one of his Towson teammates join the team today. Joining the Dodgers is the right-handed pitcher Alex Quas, who just finished up his junior season at Towson. He was on the original roster, but didn't join the team until today. He was working on some mechanical stuff and really trying to get himself right to be on the mound, and he's finally at that point. Parker set, payoff pitch. Grounded to third base, up with it is Seal off his chest. He'll look to first, and everybody is safe. So Seal got a bad hop off the lip of the grass. He kept it in front of him, but the speed of Nick Wheeler loads the bases with nobody out.
And they're going to rule that an error on the third baseman Seals. It is a hard hit ball and a tough play, but a play, again, you really want your third baseman to be able to make.
On that ground ball, I mean, you're thinking 2, but what you really want is just 1 out with the big lead. You want 1 out somewhere, and Seal couldn't do that, and the bases are loaded for Bo Plaguey, a Towson versus Towson matchup here. First pitch fastball, grounded down the third baseline. It'll go just foul as Seal comes up with this one, but he just tosses it back to his pitcher. Parker and Plaguey playing together at Towson University this season, both a member of the same class. Both were freshmen who got solid time on the field for the Tigers. For Plaguey as an outfielder, Parker a reliever. Plaguey played in 18 games for the Tigers, got 45 at-bats, and hit .333. It's 15 hits and 45 at-bats. And out of those 15 hits, made a couple of them count, 2 home runs and 5 RBI. Parker set with the bases full of Braves and nobody out. Comes to the plate with the 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, gets by Wolanski, up the line, runner's coming. Now he breaks back to third, and they got the runner caught at second, and he's safe. The throw back to first, he's safe there as well. And what looked like the Dodgers could have gotten at least one out as every runner was not where they needed to be. They record no outs, and rightfully so. Derek Brown is not too happy. I mean, it looked like they maybe had an out at both second and first base. At the very least, one of those guys was out. The throw looked like it beat both of them to the bag. Instead, nobody out.
I can't. I am absolutely shocked. Like you said, both of those guys looked out. I thought they were about to pull off the biggest double play I've ever seen. The runner over at first base, Wheeler, was halfway down to second. If they would have just thrown behind him, they would have definitely gotten an out there. But the throw down to second looked in time. The throw back to first looked in time. And they called him safe both times.
So now Bo Plague is ahead in the count. Pitch from Parker. That's lined foul over the Braves dugout. And no, looks like the count's 1-2 now in this Tiger versus Tiger matchup. So Wolanski, the ball kind of got away off his chest protector and rolled a little bit down the first baseline, but not too far away from him. The runner off third, who was Devaney, was too far down, but Wolanski didn't want to make that throw. That was a tough throw throwing across his body, so he instead went down to second where the runner was off the base. It was a close play, but it looked like the ball beat him there. Must have missed the tag. Parker set, looking back, now the 1-2. Plague tries to check his swing. He cannot. He goes too far. Strike three. So Parker wins the battle of the Towson players, and he gets a big strikeout with the bases loaded. Now there's one away as the runners stay where they are. And then again, a good stop from Wolanski there. Now, Plague wouldn't have been able to advance if that curveball got by him, but the run could have scored from third base. Looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter here for the Braves. It's going to be number 22 for Herndon, Dakota Graham, who will hit from the left side of the plate.
From Towson University, number 32, Braden Boatsberg.
Number 22, Dakota Graham steps in. He's a lefty. He'll pinch hit for the right-handed hitting left fielder Tim Johnson, who relieved the game after going 0 for 2. Bases still loaded. First delivery from Parker. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Good pitch. Nice little backdoor job there from Alex Parker, and the count's 0-1. Johnson out of the game. He flew out to center in the second. Struck out swinging in the fourth. That put his 0 for 2 there. Is now Parker facing Dakota Graham. Now the 0-1. Fastball misses off the outside corner. And the count evens up at 1-1. Parker would love a double play here as the infield's back at double play depth, looking to get out of this inning with the 6-run lead. 1-1, misses well outside. Good stop from Wolanski. And the count's now 2-1. So Parker thought he had at least one out on the base passes. On that wild pitch with Plague still at the plate. Looked like he had every runner called off. Wolanski could have chosen any one he wanted. He threw to second. Still looked like they had the out, but he was called safe. Then looked like they had the out at first. Called safe there as well. 2-1 fastball misses low, and now it's 3-1 to the pinch hitter. And that pinch hitter, Graham, on the season so far, he's hitting .271. This will be his 60th at-bat for the Braves. He's got one home run, and he's driven in 9 runs. Parker coming set, and the 3-1. Fastball lined out to left field. Tego came in at first. Now he's going back. He's going to get there, and he makes the catch. The runner at third base, Devaney, he tags and comes in to score, but that's a productive out, really, for both teams, but I'd say more productive for the Dodgers, who are just looking for outs here. And there's now 2 away, as it's a 7-2 ball game in the 6th.
Second baseman from Trevecca University, number 2, Chandler Miller.
Yeah, Brian Tego making a good play there on that ball, going back, making the catch, not trying to do too much as the runner at third tagging. It was a pretty easy tag, obviously, as he had to go back on that. But we saw earlier in the game that was a bit of an adventure for this Braves team. But, not trying to get the runner at the plate or anything like that because he really had no chance. But Dodgers still lead it by 5, so the big thing, like you said, getting the outs. That's what he did, got the ball in, made sure those runners didn't advance.
Now Chandler Miller, who in his last time up, hit a home run. Now he lines one up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Bernauer hits third base. He's coming home. The throw from Shelby will be cut off, and now they got a runner and a rundown in between second and third. Coker applies the tag before Bernauer reaches home plate, and no runs there for the Braves on that base hit. They again struggle running the bases. It's been all night for Herndon. They continue to shoot themselves on the foot on the base paths. Coaching staff can't be happy about tonight's base running, but the Dodgers will take it and get out of the inning.
Yeah, Bernauer is actually being held up at third. Great throw by Shelby, but coming in to cut that one off was Shane Coker, and just not paying attention. Out at second base there was Nick Wheeler as he was rounding second base. The third base coach giving the stop sign to Bernauer, who took a wide turn around third. He went halfway between second and third. He's not paying attention, not looking at his third base coach. Gets held up because Shane Coker does a great job of cutting that baseball off and running him down and making the tag. No runs scored. Dodgers get out of that jam, just allowing the one.
So the Dodgers only allow one run in the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the sixth here at Joe Cannon Stadium. The Dodgers 7 and the Braves 2. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Connor Newcomb back here alongside Rob Stadnick. In the bottom of the sixth inning, Dodgers leading the Braves by a score of 7-2. And the Braves have a new pitcher after Connor Jones was pretty magnificent. He recorded 5 outs and picked up 5 strikeouts, and not all 5 of those outs were via the strikeout. He actually had to get a pop out as well. He got a swinging strike that went to the backstop and allowed runner to reach base. But 5 strikeouts for Jones, and say he did a pretty nice job against the Dodgers, holding them off the scoreboard after they had already built up a 7-1 lead. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2 here is Joey Ortiz, and he fouls one back to stay alive. Ortiz on the day, well, everybody's been hitting except for him, which has not been the case all season. Ortiz 0 for 3. He's lined out to center, lined out to short, and popped out to second base. And another 0-2 is grounded softly, high chopper over towards shortstop. Up with it is Stover, throwing to first, not in time. And, well, just as I say, Joey Ortiz doesn't have a hit. He picks himself up an infield single to lead off the sixth inning. And that single for Ortiz coming against the new pitcher here for the Herndon Braves. It's number 15, the righty Will DeJulian. Finished up his sophomore season at Marymount University. Native of Annandale, Virginia, and he attended Bishop O'Connell High School. DeJulian set, first pitch. Bellamy squares to bunt. He's bunting for a base hit, gets it down the line. DeJulian up with it, flipped to first, is in time. There's one away, but Bellamy will be given a sacrifice bunt there as Joey Ortiz is quickly over to second base.
I want to go back to the Ortiz hit. Norwood over there at third base made a bit of a mistake not trying to get that high chopper, as once that ball hit the ground a second time and Stover had to field it at short, there was no chance they were going to get Joey Ortiz.
DeJulian, set. Fastball to Brandon McElwain, will miss low for a ball. McElwain on the day, he's 1 for 2. Flew out to right field in the first, but then walked in the third and had an RBI double in the fourth. 1-0 to him. He pops it high into the air in left field. Johnson coming in, and he will make the catch. That's Graham out there as he pinch hit for Johnson in the last half inning. He'll make the catch, though, and now there's 2 away.
Now batting. First base.
So now Shane Coker in for the Dodgers with a runner on second base and 2 outs. They do have a 7-2 lead with only 9 outs to get, but well, they've struggled with their bullpen this season, so you're looking at least drive in this insurance run here. Get that lead back to 6. First pitch lined into center field, coming in is Wheeler, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. Rounding third is Joey Ortiz. He's in safely with no throw to the plate. An RBI single for Shane Coker, his second of the day. 8-2, the Dodgers lead it in the 6th.
A little softly hit looper out in the left center field. Wheeler unable to make the play and get in on the baseball quickly enough. And actually not able to catch it cleanly either, so not even a play at the plate as Ortiz comes in to score. The Dodgers get the run they gave up right back.
Now Austin James is in for the Dodgers, 1 for 3 on the day. The Julian set, quick check at first, then the pitch is lined foul by Austin James. He got a piece of the light pole over there as it bounces down towards the bleachers. James behind 0-1. He grounded out to third in his first at-bat in the first inning. Then singled and came around to score in the 4th. In the 4th. And then he came up again in the 4th, struck out swinging to end the inning. Started the rally in the 4th with that single, then ended it with a strikeout. So Dodgers batted around, brought 10 men to the plate, and scored 6 runs in the 4th inning that broke this game open. Gave them a 7-0 lead. They now lead at 8-2. The Julian set, breaking ball, gets by the catcher, Devaney, and goes all the way back to the backstop. Into second base easily is Shane Coker on the wild pitch.
The rain's starting to fall a little bit harder here. It had stopped for a little while, but you can start to hear it a little bit. Joe Cannon Stadium not known for being able to hold a lot of water. And certainly not any Camden Yards, which has that pump system underneath the stadium that can get water out. Usually, a good 45 minutes of hard rain will flood this field. So going to have to move quick to get this one in if this rain keeps up.
Now to Julian set, looking back at Shane Coker, who stands on second. And the pitch lined into left field, and it falls in for a base hit. Coker rounding third. He's going to get the send. Here's the cutoff throw. It gets by the cutoff man. Coker scores. Into second on the throw is Austin James. The Dodgers lead at 9-2. They're not going down quietly after picking up the big lead.
Well, as we said, the Herndon Braves, one of the worst pitching teams in the league, ERA above 5. For a team, 9 of their games have involved at least one team scoring 10 runs. We're getting to that point here in this game. Just one more run for the Dodgers. They're actually going to charge an error on the left fielder Graham there, allowing the runner to reach second base, which those types of calls are always kind of difficult. Was he going on the throw, or did he wait until the ball got passed?
So now it's Jaron Shelby to face DeJulian. Shelby, he struck out twice, but in between those 2 strikeouts, had a big RBI double, and he came around to score after that.
So they're going to take that foul ball off and move the runner to third base. It was a balk called against DeJulian.
So now the first pitch to Shelby. He lines out to right center field, going over towards the gap is Wheeler, but he runs it down with nice speed in center. So finally getting out of it is DeJulian, but, well, Connor Jones, the pitcher before him, fared a lot better. 2 runs come in for the Dodgers with 2 outs as they add to the lead. We're through 6. When we get to the 7th, I'll send the play-by-play duties back over to Rob Stadnick as the Dodgers hold a 9-2 lead over the Herndon Braves here at Joe Cannon Stadium. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball.
From South Florida State, number 10, Brett Norwood.
All right, Rob Stadnick back with you, taking over the play-by-play. Connor Newcomb back on the color commentary. We'll see how this inning goes. We might let Connor call the rest of the game if the Dodgers kind of struggle offensively, as the rain is extremely heavy right now. Of course, the Braves are going to want to keep playing, because if this game is called, it's official, and the Dodgers will win it. So the Braves are going to want to play this as long as is absolutely possible, as the leadoff hitter Brett Norwood will stand in and take a ball in the dirt after a very strange kind of play. Ended the 6th inning where, well, it wasn't necessarily all that strange, but a single out in the left. The runner from second base, Alex Bernauer, turned third but was held up, and Nick Wheeler went too far off the bag at second base, was caught up and tagged out to end the inning. It would have been bases loaded with 2 away for the Braves, as the 1-0 is going to miss up and away. And the 2-0 is going to miss down in the dirt. Norwood ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. The Dodgers scoring 1 in the first, 4 in the 6th, and 6 in the 5th. 6 in the wow, I'm having a bad day with the reading. 3-0 pitch in there for a strike. 6 in the 4th and 2 in the 6th to total their 9 runs, as a fastball is going to miss down low, and Norwood on first base with a leadoff walk. He's been on base all 4 times that he has come to the plate today.
For the Herndon Braves, from UMBC, number 9, Kyle Benjamin.
Kyle Benjamin will now come to the plate and take over for Caden Stover. Stover had been 1 for 3. A single was thrown out at the plate and grounded to shortstop twice. Once was a double play to help get Connor Grove out of a jam. Baltimore Dodgers middle infield moving to double play depth. We'll see if Norwood tries to steal on Wolanski now with a wet ball. Maybe he'll have a better shot, as now the delivery to Benjamin in there for a strike. Coming set is Parker. He'll check the runner and he'll come home. And that's a breaking ball. Gets in the dirt. Runner off with the, once the ball hit the dirt, he took off. And he'll get in safely, as Wolanski can't find the handle. And he'll get down to second base on the wild pitch by Parker.
Yeah, Wolanski pretty much has been blocking everything back there, but sometimes the pitch is just a little much to keep right in front of you. That bounced too far ahead, and Norwood, obviously with good speed at first, takes second base.
Benjamin out of Mechanicsville, Maryland, attends UMBC. Will be going for his sophomore year. Tough play there as the ball was spinning on Ortiz, as he got a pretty bad hop, and he's unable to make the play. That should go down as a infield single for Kyle Benjamin, as the ball hit the ground and kind of kicked right away from Ortiz, who was expecting the ball to kind of take a truer hop.
Yeah, it's a tough hit to swallow, but it will be a pinch hit single for Benjamin. And now those 2 runs from the Dodgers in the bottom of the 6th looming larger to get ahead 9-2, as Braves are making a little bit of a comeback attempt here in the 7th.
As Richard Constantine will stand in and take a fastball that'll miss down low.
If you're the Dodgers, you're just looking to trade runs for outs. You get a ground ball somewhere, you're looking to turn 2, but at the very least, you just want to get an out. It's okay if the run scores. You've built up this 7-run cushion.
Runners at the corners and no away, and a fastball is going to miss inside. And this is the point in the game, as you said, built up that 7-run cushion. This is where you want to pitch to contact if you're a pitcher. It's not about strikeouts. It's not about pinpoint accuracy at this point in time. You want to make them beat you. A walk here, an infield single, and there's 2 runners on now for the Braves. A little bit unlucky on the last one, as the 2-0 is going to miss down low. So now you're 1 pitch away from loading the bases, of making them only get 1 hit, and now they could put 4 on the board with 1 swing of the bat. Dodgers do have a reliever warming as a 3-1 in there for a strike. It looks like Huai-Pin Chang warming up for the Dodgers down the left field bullpen. And Parker will come set, and he'll come home. And that's hit high and deep out to left. Going back is Tego, and he's just going to watch it go up towards the water tower. Now we have a 3-run home run and a 9-5 game as Alex Parker surrenders the 3-run homer to Richard Constantine.
Yeah, that was a pitch that Constantine could get all over, a fastball middle in, and he did not miss it. Haven't seen somebody hit the water tower yet, but Constantine was going for it right now. And now, well, if you're Parker, you want to just kind of relax and reset the mind. The bases are cleared. It's still got a 4-run lead you're protecting, and you kind of got to get that out of your mind. But Parker's not going to get the chance to do that as Derek Brown coming to the mound. Another pitching change for the Dodgers here.
And we'll go to a break here quickly, and we'll come back, and we'll talk to you a little bit about the reliever, Huai-Pin Chang. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball.
Still to plate, number 23.
Huai-Pin Chang for the Baltimore Dodgers coming in to try and get the Dodgers out of this 7th inning. Chang from Taiwan National Sports University out in Taiwan, making his 5th appearance for the Dodgers this summer. Has started a pair of games. Just 10 innings in his 4 previous appearances, allowing 5 earned runs, good for a 4.50 ERA. Not a lot of velocity on the fastball for Chang as he delivers. And that's going to miss down and away to Kieran Devney, who's going to be the first batter he faces. Devney in the game, 1 for 2, doubled down the left field line, grounded to third, and he walked. And now we're going to get a visit to the mound as Chang is going to call out his pitcher. And, well, there's a bit of a language barrier. So it's sometimes going to be difficult there as there's no interpreter here for Chang. And Alex Wilansky trying to make sure he knows what pitches that Chang is coming with. Rain continues to fall here at Joe Cannon Stadium. High fly ball deep to left. Tego is going to settle under this one, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
And that's pretty big for Chang right there. After a walk, a single, and a 3-run homer allowed by Alex Parker, you want nothing more coming out of the bullpen than to get that first batter out for the sanity of your team and especially the sanity of your head coach, Derek Brown, and he gets the big out. Now he gets himself a little lefty-lefty matchup here.
A couple other games in the Cal Ripken League have been delayed or suspended. I'll talk to you about the ones that are currently playing. The Big Train up on the Redbirds 7-5, and that game is in the bottom of the 8th as the first delivery to Bernauer is down low, and the 1-0 is going to miss as well. The Bernauer ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. The games that matter for the Dodgers, well, they're either suspended or delayed, as the Aces and River Dogs don't really hold much bearing. The fastball is going to miss outside here, so the Dodgers could do themselves a favor with a victory and just leapfrog over the D.C. Grays. But first they got to take care of business. 3-0 the count on Alex Bernauer. And Chang comes home with the fastball. It's going to miss the outside corner. And 4-pitch walk. Bernauer's been on base 3 times now, twice via the walk.
Now batting. Center field. From Grambling State University. Number 34.
As Nick Wheeler will come to the plate and take his turn against the lefty from Taiwan. Dodgers infield at double play depth. And a fastball to Wheeler in there for strike 1. I'm just kind of waiting to see when we're going to start seeing water puddles hitting the surface here as that rain just continues to fall. And it's pretty steady. The 0-1 in the dirt. Chang bouncing that in front of the plate. Looks down at his landing spot like he maybe slipped a little bit. We'll see if maybe he tries to get some dirt off. Is now is pounding with the foot to make sure that dirt is nice and firm so that he's not slipping on it.
Something that Connor Grove struggled with a little bit all the way back in the first inning.
And a hard ground ball foul over towards the bullpen catcher for the Dodgers. Eli Ginsberg over there trying to protect his catcher. Not doing a very good job as he lets the ball get past him. I mean, the ball wasn't hit very hard, but you got to make that play, Eli. Eli playing in his 4th season with the Dodgers.
He's the vet out there. He's got to make the play. Got to show the young kids how to make the play.
Absolutely. So I'm going to talk to him a little bit about that if we get a chance to talk next game. Is a foul ball here on the 1-2 pitch. Runner at first base, 1 away, 3 already here in the inning for the Braves. A walk, a single, and a 3-run home run by Constantine. The lead cut from a 9-2 lead down to a 9-5 lead as Wheeler taking his time to get back in to the box, causing Chang to wait just a little bit as Chang will come set, check the runner, and he'll come home. And a foul ball again by Wheeler, and he'll keep the count at 1-2 strikes. Wheeler on the day, he is 1 for 2. He doubled back in the 4th, was hit by a pitch, came around to score in the 2nd. Excuse me. Had to write no run there as he did not come around to score in the 2nd inning. He left base early on a potential sack fly.
He thought he
and a swing and a miss. He thought he was going to score. This time he's not going to reach base as he swings and misses at the breaking ball. And 2 away now for Wei-Pin Chang.
Right fielder from Towson University, number 44, Bo Plague.
Bo Plague will come to the plate to take his turn against Chang. Chang trying to get the Dodgers out of this. It's one of those 4-run leads where you kind of feel iffy. There's a fastball at the belt in there for a strike, especially when you give up a 3-run homer in this inning. You know, you start to get a little worried about your 4-run lead. The Braves have scored in 3 consecutive innings. 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 3 here in the 7th as a fastball is going to miss up. Chang tried to put a little bit extra behind that one and went a little high. Now Wolanski, again, out to talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, you're just looking for an out. Any way you can get it here as the lead, as you said, has been cut to 9-5 coming into the inning at 9-2. Big matchup here, lefty versus righty with Chang versus Plaguey. And again, the rain coming down and the radar is not looking too hot for this game. Looks like may not get a big downpour, but the rain doesn't seem like it's going to stop all night. So see what happens here.
1-1 pitch. Hard hit ground ball through the hole on the left side for a base hit. A diving attempt by James. He can't make the play. Up with it is Tego. He gets it into the aforementioned James. And runners at first and second with 2 away. And that'll bring Graham back to the plate.
Now batting. Left field. From Wilmington University. Number 22. Dakota Graham.
So Dakota Graham up for the second time after pinch hitting for Tim Johnson and picking up the sac fly in the 6th inning. And, well, for him, this thing gets kind of interesting. If he can get on base, the Braves will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Chandler Miller, who was already homered in this game.
And fastball is going to miss inside to Dakota Graham. And Miller, as you mentioned, with the home run, he also singled. It ended up ending the inning last inning. He would be the 9th batter to come to the plate for the Braves. Chang comes set and he'll come home. And that's going to miss way outside. So Chang having difficulty with his locations.
A couple guys standing up out in the Dodger bullpen, but nobody really getting ready to throw yet.
First and second, 2 away. Dakota Graham at the plate, and a fastball will miss down low.
Looked like a good spot from Chang, but he just missed below the knees. He got the corner of the plate. It was a good idea, but just need to get a little bit up to get that strike call. And now I think you might let Graham swing away here 3-0.
And the 3-0 pitch catching the outside corner. Not a good pitch to swing at if you're Graham anyway. Looked like he was taking all the way, but that's the kind of risk you run. If he swings at that pitch, he gets the fastball, but it's on the outside corner. If he swings at that pitch, it's a problem. 3-1 pitch missing up and in, and now we've got the bases loaded. And 2 away. This is
Now batting. Second baseman.
Chang had gotten the first out, walked a batter, got a strikeout, allowed a single, and now here comes Derek Brown. We'll see if he comes to get his lefty or if he just wants to talk to him. Obviously, like I said before, the language barrier, but it's not really going to be much, he's going to need to say as he takes the baseball, and in comes, looks like John Sikowski has been the Dodgers' best reliever so far this season. And we'll talk a little bit about him when we get back. The Dodgers trying to desperately cling to a 9-5 lead. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. All right, Rob Stadnick back here with Connor Newcomb, hopefully bringing you the last out of the 7th inning as John Sikowski coming into the game, trying to pick up a struggling relieving core for the Baltimore Dodgers. He's going to face off against Chandler Miller. Breaking ball, perfect pitch there by Sikowski.
So I mentioned Miller coming up as the tying run. He's already got a home run in this game, a solo shot back in the 5th.
Bases loaded, 2 away. Breaking ball just going to miss. It's a good pitch there. Miller holding off, especially after the first one. You may be looking for a chase. Sikowski, as mentioned, has been the Dodgers' best reliever. His numbers, his overall numbers may not show it. Hard hit line drive back to left field. Jumping and making the catch is Brian Tago. He had an absolute adventure out there as he stumbled, didn't turn around perfectly. It was very scary, but he's able to reach up, make the catch, and John Sikowski gets the Dodgers out of that inning.
Yeah, that was hard to watch, but an out is an out, and with the tying run at the plate, that's a big out. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th as it's time to stretch.
This is Baltimore Dodgers. Rob Stanek back with you for the bottom of the 7th inning. The Baltimore Dodgers leading here 9-5. I'm alongside Connor Newcomb bringing you this Cal Ripken League baseball matchup. It's the Dodgers trying to cling to a game in which they've scored 9 runs. It's not something you typically would have to say, as Zach Seal will lead things off for the Dodgers and take a delivery up and away from Will DeJulian. And a fastball that'll miss up and in. They're going to check, and they're going to say he went there, and I don't even think the bat left his shoulder. He just kind of like turned his body, and they're going to call it a swing. So a couple appeals down to first base in the last couple of days for Zach Steele have not gone his way. That one worse, I think, than the one on Monday, which after reviewing the tape was a little closer than I had originally thought. So the 1-1 is going to get down into the dirt, blocked by Devney. And 2 balls and 1 strike now, the count on the Dodger third baseman. Struck it out a pair of times, and he singled. Little fister over the first baseman's head back in the 4th.
Yeah, so as I talked about last half inning, those 2 runs were big for the Dodgers to add on, and now they got to get some more add-on runs in this frame.
And a fastball is going to catch the outside corner at the knees, and the count will run even for Will DeJulian against Zach Seal. Zach Seal struggling a little bit. I mean, came to the team a little bit late. Obviously had more important things to worry about. Postseason play in college. Fastball up. Took him a while to get his first hit. Now has 4 hits in his 4 hits in 15 at-bats for the Dodgers this summer, and he swings and misses at a pitch off the outside corner. He's down on strikes for the 3rd time today. That's the first strikeout of the game by DeJulian.
The catcher from Eastern Michigan University, number 9.
So Alex Wolanski will come to the plate, and Wolanski sitting on an 0 for 3, but he's been on base an 0 for 2, but he's been on base 3 times. And he hits a little soft liner out in the left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. I'm going to start talking about that a little more as Dakota Graham out there in left knocks it down, doesn't pick it up, but it doesn't go far enough away for Wolanski to advance any further. And he's going to be on with a 1-out single, and that'll bring Brian Tego up to the plate. Brian Tego, the switch hitter, standing in from the left side, recorded a sacrifice bunt in the 4th, but reached base on the error by the third baseman, Norwood. Grounded out to short and grounded into a fielder's choice in his other 2 at-bats, and swings and misses at a pitch above the letters. I don't know, maybe he's trying to put those 2 back, 2 of those 3 that the Dodgers lost in one swing of the bat. The 0-1 and another fastball swung through by Tego. So he's not shown that he's going to catch up to the fastball here, so I imagine he's going to see one more. Runner first base, Wolanski. Not a big lead. Certainly not going to run. Another fastball. Chopper to first. Short hopped by Bernauer. Throw to second is good, but they get the out there, and that's it. As Tego is speedy down that line, especially coming out of the left-hand batter's box. He reaches on the fielder's choice and look for the Dodgers to put him in motion to possibly get another runner out in scoring position.
Yeah, smart play made over there by Bernauer at first base. He goes to second base with Wolanski, as you talked about, not much speed. And again, another smart decision by Stover to not try and make that throw. Even if he would have gunned the ball over to first base, I don't think he even had a shot to get the out.
And that'll bring the top of the order back to the plate. Another ground ball to short. Up is the shortstop to throw to first in time to retire the side. The Dodgers get a runner, but they can't advance him past first base. And out will come Casey Gast with a rake. But John Sikowski will actually be throwing the pitches in the next inning to try and get the Dodgers this victory, as they've got 6 outs to go to pick it up. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Rob Stadnick here alongside Connor Newcomb. We're here in the top of the 8th inning where the Baltimore Dodgers hold a 9-5 lead, a precarious 9-5 lead over the Herndon Braves. We mentioned it a few times early. The Braves have been involved in quite a few high-scoring games. 9 of their games this year have involved at least one team scoring 10 runs. As a breaking ball fouled off by the leadoff hitter, Brett Norwood, who stands in for the 5th time today. He's 2 for 2, walked a pair of times, came around to score in the 7th. Dodgers hoping to keep the second leading hitting team in the Cal Ripken League off the board for another 2 innings. Wow, and that breaking ball just missing the outside corner. I guess it curved around the plate. So leaving the count at a ball and a strike. Brett Norwood having his own cheering section here at Joe Cannon. You probably heard that, as that breaking ball is going to miss down low. Maybe a little bit outside as well. Norwood will be heading down to North Carolina with a bunch of other Cal Ripken League players to represent the league in a collegiate tournament. The 2-1's going to miss down and away. Norwood on Monday went 1 for 4 and scored a run in that 11-1 loss to the T-Bolts. A game that brought the T-Bolts even with the Dodgers after the Dodgers losing their game 6-1 on Monday. 3-1 pitch hit hard into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Shelby slipping, but he's able to knock the baseball down and get it back in as another leadoff runner for the Braves in this ballgame.
Yeah, you're seeing the weather start to play a part on this field. Talked about Casey Gast coming out and helping to tamp the mound so John Sikowski would get some better footing. And now Jaron Shelby, luckily he had pretty much already picked up the ball, but his final step to get to that single in right center field just slipped and fell. Still knocked the ball down, kept it in front of him, got up quickly and kept Norwood at first. But it's going to be something to keep in mind. Maybe some bad hops, some guys falling could come up big in this game. Dodgers have a 4-run lead, but still could only be one swing away from tying it. Other the Braves, they get some runners on base.
Now fly ball out in the right. Bellamy is right there. He's going to make the catch for out number 1. So 1 pitch to Benjamin and 1 out. So that's been that's a good sight to see, as we've seen the Dodgers struggle to find their command here in the late going. Even in the early going, as Connor Grove having some difficulties in that department on the first couple innings. John Sikowski, though, his overall numbers, 8 games, 18 innings pitched, has an ERA of 6. But that number is extremely inflated because of 1 start as a breaking ball on the outside corner. He went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 6 runs on 6 hits against the Grays on June 30th. That number is absolutely inflated because of that number, and then also another one, which I'll get to in just a second, the 0-1. Fastball hit on the ground to second. Ortiz is there. The flip to second for 1, throw to first, and Coker can't make the play. So we're going to get a fielder's choice. Runner going down to second base is Constantine. Forced out at second base is Norwood. Constantine will reach on the fielder's choice because you can assume a double play.
Never assume the double play. The one thing you can never assume is the double play.
And he'll reach second base on the E6, however. So 2 away, runner at second base. Let's get back to John Sikowski. He also had a game against the Big Train in which the Dodgers were leading 10-1. He came in the 9th inning, a game that Josh Hedgeka started. Sikowski came in a 10-1 ball game in the 9th. He surrendered 4 runs in that game, so pitched 1 inning, 4 runs. So in those 2 ball games, 1 1/3 inning, 10 runs against. Now the problem is sometimes with relief pitchers is a breaking ball in there for a strike. When they come into games where there's nothing on the line, they may be not as focused and they don't pitch as well. You've seen that with closers sometimes where they're coming in to get work in like 8-run ball games. They give up like 4 or 5 runs because they're not as focused. So those 2 games allowed 10 runs to score in just an inning and a third. So his 6 ERA could very easily be down below 2.
It's kind of weird how it happens. If a pitcher comes in with his team losing 11-1 as opposed to leading 11-1, the mindset even seems to change there.
Fly ball out in the center. Jaron Shelby looks like he's got a beat on it. He's coming in, He'll make the catch for out number 3. And a relatively clean inning for John Sikowski. Mud and walk aside. And that'll do it for 8th. The Dodgers or do it for the top of the 8th. The Dodgers come to bat in the bottom half. They're trying to add on to their 9-5 lead. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at Joe Cannon Stadium. Just want to let you know why we've been away so long. Working on the mound, new pitcher coming in, Mitch Holloway for the Herndon Braves. He had some issues with footing, as we mentioned throughout the game. Other players some of the pitchers have been having issues with their footing. We're not really sure if we're going to continue here, as they're trying to fix the mound, but if it's deemed that it's not safe, with the rain continuing to fall, it's very possible the umpires could call this game, at which point the Dodgers would win. Considering we're through 7, it is considered a complete game. Obviously, the Braves want it to continue, and we don't mind it continuing. We would like to finish it here within the next 45 minutes or so. That would be great. But either way, that's what's going on right now. I just wanted to kind of let everybody know that's what's up. So we're going to take you back to another break. And once we figure out what's going on, whether it's continuation or, we're done, we'll tell you. We're back here at Joe Cannon Stadium. Baltimore Dodgers are going to win a weird one.
Yeah, win's a win, Rob. So despite it taking 7.5 innings, the Dodgers were only 3 outs away anyway. But the 9th inning's been quite the adventure for the Dodgers. So, I kind of like this strategy for the team. Instead of having to deal with the 9th, which has given them plenty of problems this year, just get the lead through 8, cut the thing off, and go home. It's going to be a win for the Dodgers, who will improve to 11-16. Wait on if the DC Grays will play a final game and see if Baltimore can jump themselves into a playoff spot after tonight's games.
Yeah, let's take a quick look to see what's going on here at the down in DC. Actually, I don't think they're playing in DC. They're playing in Tacoma. That says delayed, so at this point it's probably suspended. So the Dodgers look like they're going to leapfrog into a playoff position as neither the T-Bolts nor the Grays play a game. Dodgers will become tied with the DC Grays and move a half game ahead of the T-Bolts. So, obviously it doesn't matter until the end of the season, but just playoff positioning-wise, that's where we're going to end up. The Dodgers end up winning this one 9-5 because of the haphazard nature of the whole thing. Because of the haphazard nature of the whole thing, I haven't had a chance to figure out who the winning pitcher is going to be. It was just so crazy. It's going to be Connor Grove, as a matter of fact, because the Dodgers did have the lead. He went 5, and they never relinquished it. They did add on some runs there in the 4th before he left. So Jonathan Mahoney was actually going to get the loss in the ball game. I was anticipating I wanted to play that 9th. We didn't get to hear the Undertaker theme or any of that good stuff that we like to do here at Joe Cannon Stadium. But the good news is the Baltimore Dodgers come away with the victory. So that's going to do it here for us at Joe Cannon Stadium. It's still 10-11, just like a full game anyway. Dodgers win it. They improve to 11-16. The Herndon Braves fall to 12-15 in a rain-shortened 7-inning ball game. Dodgers win it by a score of 9-5. We'd like to thank you, everyone here at Joe Cannon Stadium, myself, Connor, Joey White, Billy Goheen, the managers, the coaches, and the staff. We all like to thank you for listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball.